the process, they've tarnished a once shining Texas tradition. Once again, the Aggies are thinking cotton, and a win tonight sends them back to Dallas for the 3rd straight year. After watching his beloved Horns knock off their lofty perch, native son Dave McWilliams returned home with high hopes of restoring the pride and honor of a once great Texas program. Although the transition has not been an easy one, at times the Horns have taken on the personality of Texas teams past. With the emergence of Eric Metcalf, Texas one step away from their first Cotton Bowl in 4 years. The Aggies have stomped all over Longhorn pride. Tonight, perhaps it's payback time. From Kyle Field in College Station, Texas, the battle for the bragging rights to the Lone Star State, Texas and Texas A&M. The Corps of Cadets, great history and tradition. A&M founded back in 1876. Now 39,000 students. They just had their largest freshman enrollment ever. And for Texas, hook 'em horns, the battle cry. It originated back in 1955, Texas against TCU, now synonymous with Texas football. The records of the Aggies and the Longhorns, both 5-1 in the Southwest Conference. The winner goes to the Cotton Bowl. If there's a tie, the Longhorns go. The Aggies went the last 2 years. Hi again, everybody. I'm Jim Kelly. Kevin Kiley is alongside, and from all of us in our ESPN family to you and your family watching at home, a very happy Thanksgiving. This is the 94th renewal of a really great college rivalry, the Aggies and the Longhorns, but only the 3rd time these two teams have met with a Southwest Conference championship on the line, with a Cotton Bowl bid at stake. And the big surprise is what happened to Arkansas. They were the preseason pick by all of the pundits before the season kicked off. The other surprise is that Texas is in the hunt. They had a very sputtering offense early on.
Yeah, but they've improved, Jim, and they've really improved as Eric Metcalf, number 2, has improved. He's turned out to be an inside runner, and he is the key tonight for the Longhorns. A guy that has got to get the ball in the open field. That will be the responsibility of quarterback Brett Stafford. They'll need to get it to Eric Metcalf if they are to win this game. Defensively, Texas banged up at the defensive tackle position, but they've got some excellent inside people. Brett Hager, the middle linebacker, one of the best in the Southwest Conference, and John Hagee, a wild man in the secondary. Both of them will play a big part in the defense for Texas.
As far as the Aggies offensively are concerned, hey, a year ago they were an offensive powerhouse, setting all sorts of yardage and scoring records. Had one game for over 700 yards, but not the case this year. A 3-headed monster at quarterback. Finally, Jackie Sherrill has settled on the senior with experience.
Jim, that monster has had a beastly year. Pavlis, the freshman, redshirt freshman, did not pass well enough, did not read defenses. Richardson is kind of one-dimensional, an option quarterback, so they have gone with Craig Stump. The reason, experience, not a great arm, but he can read defenses and do audible. They'll need some help from the offensive backfield, where Woodside has become a receiver, and Darren Lewis, the freshman, true freshman, a great inside runner. They are an inside running team.
And Kevin, with the offensive problems of the Aggies, they have to do it with defense. They love to get off the buzz and blitz.
The Blitz brothers, the 2 outside backers, Roper and Wallace, 26 sacks between them. A&M has had great success pressuring the offense of Texas. They'll do it again tonight. They'll be coming out of the ground, Jimmy.
That big roar you're hearing, here they come. The Aggies of Texas A&M, led out by Jackie Sherrill. They have won back-to-back Southwest Conference championships, and they've been at the Cotton Bowl the last 2 years. ESPN's exclusive presentation of CFA football is being brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By Gillette Good News Plus, with the Ludra Smooth Strip for extra smoothness and comfort only from Gillette. And by AT&T, the right choice.
Hey.
You know, Jackie Sherrill is not a native Texan. He was born in Oklahoma. He played in Alabama. He gained national coaching prominence at the University of Pittsburgh. But he's found a home here in College Station, uniting the great tradition and resources of the Texas A&M program and making them the dominant team in the Southwest Conference. A team that will play for their 3rd consecutive Southwest Conference title tonight and another berth in the Cotton Bowl. Standing in their way, a Texas team that's put aside past distractions of recent seasons. You can credit first-year coach David McWilliams for that. He is a native Texan, a disciple of Darrell Royal, a co-captain on the 1963 Texas National Championship team, and a man who has spent all 22 years of his coaching professional life right here in the state of Texas. He understands the pride and the tradition down in Austin and how important it is here tonight. You can expect a great game here because there's more at stake than the conference championship and a Cotton Bowl berth. This game is about dominance in Texas football. Jackie Sherrill and the Aggies have it. David McWilliams and the Longhorns want it back. And Jimmy, this is going to be a war.
You wouldn't want it any other way when the Aggies and the Longhorns hook up. Only the third meeting between these two out of 94 to decide the Cotton Bowl bid. You can see the Longhorns lead the series, 63 wins to 25 for the Aggies. There have been 5 ties. This the 64th time they have met on Thanksgiving. There is Jackie Sherrill, who turned this program around in 5 short years. And David McWilliams, who captained the 1963 National Championship team at Texas, their only national championship. The native son returns back home after 1 year as the head man at Texas Tech. So we are just about set to get underway. This is the 46th time, by the way, that Texas and Texas A&M have met here at College Station. The Longhorns lead 24 wins to 17 for A&M, and there have been 4 ties. The Aggies have won the last 3 straight games, all 3 of those games on ESPN, and they'll get the football first. They have won the toss, they've elected to receive, and it'll be Wayne Clements, the sophomore kicker out of Dallas, Texas, kicking to number 17, Rod Harris, who averages about 23 yards per kickoff return, and Mickey Washington, who averages just over 12 yards per kickoff return. So Wayne Clements, a 6-footer, 185 pounds out of Dallas, Texas, spots it at the hash mark to the near side. It's at the 35-yard line. They're on their feet at Kyle Field, a sellout crowd, the Aggies and the Longhorns. The battle for the bragging rights to Texas. Rod Harris, 3 yards deep. Dances across the 20. The Aggies on offense. And the senior quarterback, Craig Stump.
They'll bring him out. It's no more who's going to start. This is the big game, and Craig Stump is the guy. Lots of experience, not a great arm. In the backfield, Gurley, strong inside runner, side, more of a receiver now than he is a running back. Rod Harris is the guy to look for. He'll go against that man-to-man defense of Texas. Luis Cheek, probably an all-conference performer, an excellent offensive tackle. They've been hurt up the middle a little bit. Wilson, a super offensive center. Webb is the replacement instead of McGuire. Fontenot, a good player.
Wilson, the senior, is out of Houston, 6'4", 270, brings the Aggies out. Woodside, Gurley, and Oliver in the backfield. Double tight end, Morgan and Ross. Stump at quarterback. Gives the ball off to Keith Woodside, the senior, and he rambles around the left side for a short gain. The defense of the Longhorns.
Tackles have been a problem. Llewellyn is playing with a shoulder that may come out tonight. Fritcher is playing in place of Hackenback. The ends. Duncombe is a converted linebacker. A&M may go at him tonight. Aldridge is a good pass rusher. Hager, the key to the defense, 4'3" middle linebacker, a very, very strong player. The cornerbacks will be in man coverage, and they will attack them tonight. And the safeties, Hagen, one of the best in the conference.
2nd and 10, Kevin. Gary Oliver wide to the right side. Woodside back deep. Stump. The option dances across the 25, loses the ball. Penalty flag, and the Longhorns have it. Senegal, number 5, the senior out of Houston, and that might not have been a flag. It might have been the official throwing his helmet. Hagee forced the fumble. Watch 17, Kevin, the senior out of San Antonio.
Well, Stump is not really an option quarterback. They overplay the pitch man. You see the middle linebacker, Hager, and then the ball comes loose. Senegal picks it up. They want Stump to run the ball on the option. He's not a great runner, and it pays off right away for Texas.
So the first turnover, the Longhorns come up with it inside the 30-yard line of the Aggies. Brett Stafford out of Belton, Texas, and it's going to be real hard to hear.
Well, noise has been a problem here. It was a problem last year, and they really looked at it at practice. David McWilliams did, and they said if you can't hear the signals, don't try to audible. What we'll do is we'll run the play anyway, even though you might want to audible to the other side of the defense, run it into the strength of the defense rather than make a mistake and have somebody not hear it. So they're aware of this noise, and it will be a factor in the game.
At the opening of the telecast, we were not kidding. We said we went to the Longhorn practice on Tuesday afternoon, and they had it turned up about 1,000 decibels. Kevin and I were standing next to each other. The music was so loud we could not hear each other, and that's what Dave McWilliams wanted to reestablish. The same kind of sound as a distraction for his Longhorn players he knew he would face coming in here to Kyle Field.
And last night at the bonfire, Jackie Sherrill referred to the noise 2 years ago. I believe it was here at A&M, and he encouraged the crowd to be loud because he knows what a factor it is. In his speech last night, he did just that. He knows it's a big factor here at A&M and already disrupting the offense of Texas.
McWilliams said his players were aware of it. The players talk about it, and Kevin, they put in a preset just for the A&M.
Well, the way to beat it now against the noise is to go on a quick count. But see, Texas is playing it smart, and that really is the experience of Stafford. He's playing it smart. He's not going to do something that will cause Texas to create a turnover. Now, there is no penalty for crowd noise in the NCAA as we understand it right now, so there's not much you can do. And Sherrill, after encouraging him to be loud, I can't imagine he'd come out on the field and tell him to quiet down.
Stafford talking to Doyle Jackson, who's the referee, and the referee is really helpless except to ask the A&M players to help quiet the crowd.
Which they're not doing. They're clapping their hands as they yell, and that just encourages the crowd more. Eventually, I guess they'd get tired after they paid all the money for tickets and not to watch a game. I imagine they'd quiet down on their own.
To the left, Gabriel Johnson. But Stafford not even approaching Alan Champagne, who is the center. Metcalf, number 2 in the backfield. Darren Norris. Now Stafford sets the Longhorns down. Out of the eye, throw set. Pit back. Metcalf will throw. The option, he'll go the other way. Gets a block, turns the corner, and is out of bounds for a loss of 1. Alex Morris, the junior out of Arlington, Texas, stayed at home. Could have been a big gainer had Metcalf been able to turn the corner.
This was supposed to be a pass. Metcalf has completed 2 passes this year for touchdowns. It was supposed to be a pass. The coverage was downfield. Excuse me, exciting here. Downfield. And you can see the athletic ability of Metcalf going all the way the other way, but the defense is there as it has been all year for A&M, and they stop it.
I told you it's turkey roll, not real turkey. 2nd and 11. Stafford leans left, leans right, barking out the signal. Metcalf in a power dive over the middle behind Alan Champagne and McMillan and Terry Price, the sophomore out of Plano, Texas, 6'4", 230, had a great spring on the stop. Penalty flag to be checked out. Delay game against the Longhorns. Brett Stafford, great quarterback.
Lead him out. He's got all their records. And now the backfield, both of these guys are actually tailbacks. Metcalf, though, more of a great athlete, so Norris is the fullback. Tony Jones is as fast as they come, a big play guy, and they'll try to get to him on the corner. Cunningham has been injured all year. The offensive line, really, they only have 7 active players that are here tonight. So they'll have to stay in the game and not get too badly hurt. Could be a problem for Texas.
Kevin, you saw Norris get up right behind Stafford and say, what's the bark? And the play call. There goes Metcalf. Nothing doing. Zena Batiste, the junior out of Spring, Texas, a 6-footer, 220 pounds, redshirted back in '84. He has 65 tackles. That's number 66.
The number 6th ranked defense in the country. They can run with no problem. Their linebackers are really the strength of the defense. Batiste is one of them, but they're all just super players, and they can go all over the field. Texas, not a power running team, although they run the eye.
They've lost 8 yards. It's 3rd and 18. Maybe Stafford's first pass. Johnson, wide left. Battle, wide right. Stafford, quarterback draw, right up the middle. Big hole, dodges one tackler. Dives back to the original line of scrimmage at the 30. Aaron Wallace on the stop, the sophomore out of Dallas, Texas. So it brings up 4th down, and the field goal team checks out now for the Longhorns. Let's see if they can capitalize on that turnover after the fumble by the Aggies. Wayne Clements out of Dallas, a 6-footer, 185 pounds. This 47-yard field goal try. He's hit 2 this year from 52.
A big 8 yards because it put him within his range. Stafford on that quarterback draw.
McManus will put it down. Hash mark far side. The sidewinder on its way. It's up and it is good. So the Aggies fumbled the football. 3 plays and a 47-yard field goal. The Longhorns lead 3-0.
Go over Jeep Cherokee's advantages, and certain things stand out. Cherokee gives you a choice of 2 or 4 doors, 2 shift-on-the-fly 4-wheel drive systems, and an optional 4-liter 6-cylinder engine that's more powerful, far more powerful than anything in its class. But perhaps Cherokee's single biggest advantage is the simple fact that it's a Jeep.
At Braun, we believe simple is better than complicated. Order is better than confusion. Quiet is better than loud. Only through superior design can one achieve superior performance. It is this philosophy that has helped make Braun the #1 selling foil shaver in the world. What's also helped is that no other shaver gives you a closer shave. Braun, now available in America.
3-0 Longhorns early. ESPN's exclusive presentation of CFA football is being brought to you by Jeep. There's a feeling you can get only in a Jeep. And by Braun Electric Shaver. Braun, designed to perform better. Along with Kevin Kiley, I'm Jim Kelly. And there is Bevo 12, the mascot of the Longhorns.
Bevo has been a bad boy this year. He may get retired. We may be looking at Bevo 13 next year.
Well, Bevo 1 came along in 1916. A couple of years later, Bevo 1 was branded by the Aggies, and in 1921, Bevo was branded, barbecued, and served up as steak. Bevo 2 didn't come along until 1936. Clements kicks it off. It is high. It's in the end zone. And from 1 yard out, Harris across the 20, the 25, the 26-yard line. And the Aggies' second possession starts there. 13:06 left to go. That scoring drive. 3 plays, and then a 47-yard field goal. There was no drive. They went 8 yards backwards on 3rd and 8. Stafford on the quarterback draw got it back to the 30.
But a big field goal for Texas for a couple of reasons. One, they get 3 points out of the turnover. The other, they had 4 kicks blocked last week against Baylor, and they needed to prove to themselves they could protect their kicker.
Stump at quarterback. Works with Woodside. Handoff to the fullback, Matt Gurley, the junior out of Arlington, Texas, a 6-footer. Nothing doing up the middle. Blocking by Webb, Wilson, and Fontenot. Britt Hager in the middle, number 60, the middle linebacker out of Odessa, Texas.
The linebacker out of a 4-3 has got to read immediately and get off the block. You see number 60 do just that. He slips the block. You need to meet him. Don't get tangled up with the blocker. Get into the hole and make the play. And Hager's as good as anybody you'll ever see in college at that.
Motion by Harris, goes back to the spot. Stump on a sprint out, pulls it down, can run. 30, 35, to first down yardage. John Hagee, the senior out of San Antonio, Texas, a 9-yard pickup, helped out by Dwayne Duncan.
It's been a virtual circus at quarterback position for Texas A&M this year. Stump was the starter. They went to Pavlik. They had problems. He did not read defenses. He's a young kid, redshirt freshman. They took him out of there, put Bucky Richardson. They went to the option game. Richardson, a great option player, but not a passer. And then down the stretch when they needed the big wins in the second half of the Arkansas game, they go to Craig Stump. They stay with him because of his experience and recognition. And on that play, he recognized he had a lane to run, and he went down the road. And Sherrill is pretty happy with him over the last 2.5 games.
But, Kevin, we will see Bucky Richardson later in the game. We'll see him come in just for 1 or 2 plays when they want to run the option, when they want to run the sweep a little bit.
Jackie said second or third series he might put him in.
It was a first down for the Aggies up across the 35. Motion by Gary Oliver. Gurley, nothing doing at the 35. 45-yard line. Thomas Aldridge, number 97, a 6'2", 226-pound senior out of Dallas, Texas, on the stop.
It's important to remember that David McWilliams is a defensive coach, was a defensive coach, and he met with his coaches in the spring. They discussed what he wanted in a defensive philosophy. He's an excellent defensive coordinator, and he also recruited most of the players, or helped recruit most of the players on the Texas defense, even though he went to Tech last year. So these are his people and his defense, and he's good at his job.
Woodside checks in. Harris right to the left. Penalty flag is down, and it might have been too much time against the Aggies. .11:17 left to go in the first quarter. And the band strikes it up. We'll hear both bands. It's almost a battle of the bands. Procedure against the Aggies. So a couple of costly early mistakes. First the fumble that led to the 47-yard field goal for Texas. And now it'll be 2nd and 16.
Leading receivers for A&M's. Woodside is one of them. Rod Harris is the other. And Darren Lewis is the most dangerous runner. We have not seen much of him. He's just a freshman. He'll be number 25 when he comes in. But in a passing situation, you can expect Woodside or Rod Harris to get the ball.
Spotted just outside the 30. 2nd and 16. Stump sets the Aggies down. Play action fake. Fires it high. Incomplete at the 45. Looking for Jerry Oliver right in front of Dave McWilliams.
Texas is a man-to-man defensive team. They have excellent defensive backs. They have had them for years. One of the better players in that defensive secondary is number 17, John Hagee. Great cover guy and a very physical player. That's why he didn't throw it to Rod Harris. He wouldn't have seen it. He was on his face. Hagee is the type of kid. He's a talker. Last year he talked a little too much before this game made the papers, and they were upset with him. He's kept quiet this year.
Needs 16. Blitz. And the Aggies will punt. Steve Llewellyn, a junior out of Fort Worth, Texas, 6'6", 270, a loss of 10, and you saw the exceptional speed.
Llewellyn's a guy they felt they had to have in this game. He had to practice. He's playing with a shoulder harness. You'll see him come all the way around and make the plays. Had not had any contact, knee surgery on his shoulder, but decided to play. It's an important game.
Stump will do the punting. This is a line drive kick. Metcalf watches it sail out of bounds up at 37, now the 38-yard line. 10:18 left to go. The Longhorns scored first. They lead the Aggies 3-0.
With an optional 4-liter monster under its hood, Jeep Comanche doesn't just stand apart. It stands alone.
Now get $500 factory cash back on all new Jeep Comanches.
Until 20 years ago, the Southern Pacific Railroad ran on train loads of paper and pencils.
We got smart and we said we need a computer to keep track of where all these cars are going. We sat side by side, IBM and SP, to take those rail operations and put it into computer automation. We program into the computer where all these cars are destined. So the computer knows where they're going from. There's the train. Well, we've jumped in the 21st century. And it's still the same old track, but we just do it better. We do it better.
Saturday, an important preseason college basketball tournament. Top teams from around the country compete at the Great Alaska Shootout. See the semifinals live Saturday afternoon on ESPN.
Jackie Sherrill played 7 different positions at Alabama. None of those positions were Bellman or Skycap. Here he carries Stump off after the Arkansas game. How come?
Well, because he felt that Stump came back under pressure, a 5th-year senior, a guy who had to sit out after being the starter. He said 90% of the kids in the country would have quit. Stump didn't. When he needed him, he called on him in the second half of the Arkansas game. Craig Stump came through, and that's why he's starting now. He won't be here next year, but he has a warm place in that man's heart.
Longhorns' second possession. They got a 47-yard field goal on their initial try. Stafford backpedals. Middle's open. Incomplete at the 35-yard line, looking for a streaking Tony Jones. How about that Aggie defense?
It's a good one, 6th in the nation. Sammy O'Brien has played a big part in that. Last 3 games or so, he's come on and done what the coaches have asked him to. These are the Blitz brothers, and they're a good-looking pair, and you'll see them all night. They'll play down and up, and they're tough inside backers, Batiste and Bob. The strength of the defense, the 4 linebackers, outstanding. These are the cornerbacks. Morris has 8 sacks, so they will send the corner on a blitz. Skip Corrington, one of the better players in the country, and Brooks not bad either.
Stafford behind a block by Metcalf, who missed. Stafford will go the other way. Looks for anybody to come back and help out. Incomplete at the 42-yard line. The ball a little bit high. Tony Jones, the intended receiver again, number 4, the sophomore out of Grapeland, Texas. Finally pressured by Aaron Wallace, the sophomore out of Dallas. Jones a little bit late, Kevin, and coming back to help out the quarterback.
Well, he needed to get out in the open, maybe come back a little, Jim. You're right. He did not come back, and it was too hard to throw for Stafford. A&M has had great success pressuring Stafford over the years. He has never beaten A&M. Right there, you see a statistic that Texas A&M is very tough on 3rd down, on all 3 downs for that matter.
Cash and Johnson wide to the left on 3rd and 10. The home run ball. Incomplete at the 22-yard line. 3 straight plays. They isolate Tony Jones. Jones with great speed, good hands, but the ball overthrown again.
Here's Roper, number 83, a great pass rusher. Now watch Stan Thomas, number 51. Not such a great pass blocker, but he holds pretty good and kept Roper off of Stafford.
Rosendahl with a 41.6 average back. Rod Harris with an 11-yard punt return average, standing at his own 20-yard line. This a line drive. Harris backs up at the 9. A 4-yard return, and that's where the Aggies will start with 9:45 left to go. All right, at the top, we talked about the bonfire last night. 5,500 logs doused with jet fuel. It's still burning. It'll burn for how many months?
Till December, they say. You know, I may leave, well, till Christmas, excuse me. I may use jet fuel on my fireplace at home. It really keeps the fire going, doesn't it?
5,500 logs, 45,000 students jammed and had yell practice. Jackie Sherrill spoke last night at the bonfire. This series, this game with history and tradition goes way back. This is the 94th meeting. Stump works with Darren Lewis. Kevin talked about the speedy freshman out of Dallas. He's only 5'11", 195 pounds.
This is a whole new look, Jim, with Lewis in there. They're very much stronger up the middle, and he's a lot quicker than Woodside.
The ball at the 14. The tailback Lewis barrels over the right side behind Tony Bartley and Jerry Fontenot. Tackle made by Llewellyn.
The old 6-1 defense, dangerous if they pop it. Texas does a pretty good job. Fontenot and Bartley out there, they open up a big hole. Let's see who gets over there. Texas just kind of covering up. Llewellyn makes the tackle. That 6-1 puts 6 guys on the line of scrimmage, and it's dangerous in that if you break through the line and cut off the middle linebacker, they go right to the safety.
You saw that graphic and what the Longhorns defensively did to Baylor last week. 2nd and 5, and Lewis gets the call again, same play. And this time Britt Hager, the middle linebacker, the junior out of Odessa, Texas, right there to wrestle the young freshman down.
Hager's down, and he is a guy, that's Hager on the ground. He is a guy that they have said, we cannot afford to lose him. He's the heart of the defense, and without him, they don't have much up the middle.
There's our shot from the Goodyear blimp, provided, of course, by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company, based in Spring, Texas, named America. And the pilot, Mark Kynett, out of Conroe, Texas. And the cameraman is Glenn Hampton of Akron, Ohio. 8:57 left to go. They're still attending to Britt Hager. What? In the middle, number 60, and then the legs kind of crumbled out from under.
The linebacker takes a lot of punishment. Hager reads it. He's off the block. He's all right here.
You know, he had a tough year last year, Kevin. He had that severe ankle injury in the season opener against Stanford and kept him out of all the action except one series against Oklahoma.
You see that big black thing around his neck? A very common injury, I'm guessing now, but a very common injury among linebackers and linemen are pinched nerves in the neck and shoulder. And the guy will be in agony 1 minute, he'll be back in the game the next. That black neck roll type of thing is the cushion. And I really didn't see any contact except right in that head neck area, and that's how it happens. I'm guessing, but he seemed to be up. It was not a leg injury. Could be a pinched nerve, something that he has to deal with, and if it is, I'm sure he'll be back in the game.
8:57 left to go in what has been a scoreless first quarter for the Aggies. Their second possession, they're looking at 3rd and 5. Spotted at the 19-yard line. Slot to the left. Stump bends in behind Matt Wilson, the senior veteran center. Option. Swarming Longhorn defense. Nothing doing at the 22. And Tom Aldridge and Rocky Allen came over to make the stop.
Well, they have become a team on defense, on offense, A&M, that does not beat themselves. They went from a tremendously explosive, record-setting offense, as you look at Stump, last year with Kevin Murray, and now they're a team that simply is conservative, doesn't want to beat themselves, lets the defense play.
If you're wondering why Stump is punting, 18 punts outside the A&M 40 last year, 8 of them he kicked inside the 20. Metcalf, knife down, a penalty flag is down also at the 35-yard line. A 44-yard kick, there was no return, and there's a flag to be checked out. Busy first quarter for Doyle Jackson, our referee. And it's against the Longhorns. Flipping against Texas. So Brett Stafford and company will back up a few more yards. 8:19 left to go. Aggies on the short end of the Longhorns, but just by 3.
Jeep designed Cherokee to give you more than any other vehicle of its kind. Like a choice of 2 or 4 doors. Room for 5 adults. And now you can get Cherokee with an optional 4-liter 6-cylinder engine that has more power, a lot more power than anything in its class. But Cherokee's biggest advantage is one that can't be measured by mere numbers. Cherokee is all Jeep.
On Thailand Beach, try to make some supper, but I can't even eat. Jump in the shower, watch the world from my back. Gotta get you, baby, that's a natural fact. It's the night time, that's the right time. I wanna be with you in the night time.
The night belongs to Michelob.
Texas A&M is one of the leading research universities in the United States.
The best teacher is the teacher who is engaged in research so fully that he or she is excited about it and brings it into the classroom, brings the student right up to the latest cutting edge of ideas. That's what research does in education.
Texas A&M University, teaching, research, and service.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. 3-0, the Longhorns leading the Aggies. Average yards on first down, Texas A&M 1.2. Texas a minus half yard on first down. Stafford, a little delay to Norris. Norris bangs it up near the 30-yard line. Blocking on that left side by Cunningham, by Jeton, and by Champagne. And Roper on the stop, the junior out of Houston.
Well, it's a draw on first down, and what they're going to do, they'll double team 2 men on the middle guard, and now you see Metcalf on a little bit, Norris on a little bit of a delay. Big opening because they get O'Brien out of the way, and the pass look is really what does that. It makes the defensive line hesitate for a second, makes them find bait for the block.
2 tight ends, Stephen Clark, Mark Semmelman in now on second and a long yard. Loose ball. Stafford pulls it down, and there are 3 Aggies there. The first one to arrive, number 83, one half of the Blitz brothers, John Roper.
Every quarterback's nightmare is that not only to drop it, but to have it levitating in front of you when the defense is coming. Stafford does a good job of keeping his eye on the ball, and the Aggies do a good job of keeping their eyes on him. Texas can't afford that type of play in short yardage.
You didn't know it, but we saw Roper's sister the other day.
Where did we see her?
Over at basketball practice. She starts for the Lady Aggie basketball team. 3rd and 3. Dive over the middle up near the 32. Looks like a first down for Norris. That quick hitter in the hole opened up by 54 Champagne and by number 77, the freshman McMillan.
Well, Norris ought to get the Medal of Honor. He's really a tailback, 5'9", 195-pounder. But as I said earlier, with Metcalf on the team, he's a guy that has to play fullback, and the Longhorns don't have a true fullback. He needs the blocking if he's to pick up the tough yard.
6:40 and counting. That's the Longhorns' first down. Norris came up to the line. Tried to hear the count from Stafford. Metcalf, wing right, has the ball. Great speed. Reverses his field and picks up the second Longhorn first down. Roper and Corrington on the stop, a gain of 11.
Again, Darren Norris, number 34, playing the fullback position, makes a great block for his buddy. Norris is the lead blocker, seals the corner. That was him out there sealing the corner. Now Metcalf, with the great moves, able to step inside and the shiftiness and pick up the yardage. He's the guy that they need to spring. Eric Metcalf right there, Terry's son. Get him in the open field, and he will score for you. They were very concerned with him here in College Station.
Metcalf again, great acceleration. It's a gain of containment as far as number 2 is concerned, and at midfield, Terrence Brooks has Terry Metcalf's son out of Bishop O'Connell High School in Alexandria, Virginia.
Well, the key play so far in this drive, as far as I'm concerned, is that 3rd and 3, they were able to move out the A&M line and let Norris run for the first down. And what they did, they established their ability to run up the middle, and that's opened it up for Metcalf. Now they're running draws and going wide, and they're able to make their offense go.
Johnson comes out wide to the right. Jones wide left. Metcalf 4 carries, 15 yards. 2nd and 3. Stafford will put it up. Safety valves it out to Norris. Norris breaks 2 tackles and fights his way down to the 47-yard line of Texas A&M. Guy Broom, the senior out of Galveston, on the stop. You don't see the Aggies miss too many tackles, and Norris did a good job.
It's that tailback in him, although he lines up in fullback. Sammy O'Brien, now he's going to beat the center. He gets around Champagne with a little swim move, but then Stafford, with the ability to scramble, gets it out to Norris. And Norris, as I said, he's got that tailback ability. He got it out there in the open field, was able to pick up a first down. He had 19 receptions coming in, so he's really not a true fullback.
Metcalf lines up now, slotted to the right. Stafford on 1st and 10 from the 47 over the middle. He's got Jones. Or Battle. That's Battle, the freshman. A 22-yard pickup, and Gary Jones on the stop.
Jorick Battle, as you said, just a freshman. He only weighs 187 pounds, but Texas uses him as a flex end. He'll sit out about 3 yards from the tackle, but he'll run the same type of pattern that a tight end runs, and he gets isolated there on a linebacker wide open. Great pass by Stafford, and Texas beating him all over the field, attacking him inside, outside, and able to throw the ball on him. They're establishing the offense.
4.5 to go. It's been played in the Aggie end. Stafford gives it off to Norris, and nothing doing. Sammy O'Brien, number 90, the senior out of Houston, Texas, stacked up the middle. 2nd leading tackler for the Aggies with 86. Great quickness and speed. 4.9 speed for a big lineman.
This time O'Brien stays low. He gets off the block by Champagne, is able to get in the hole. That's what a middle guard has to do. You can see how important it is for that guy to hold his ground and be able to get off those blocks and secure the middle of the defense.
That guy out of Osage High School in Houston, bench presses 352 pounds, leg presses 810 pounds. 2nd and 9. Motion by Kerry Cash. Delay to Norris. Good lateral pursuit that time by the Aggies, but slicing inside the 20 down to the 19 goes Norris, and Roper has him there. Speaking of leg presses, Roper can leg press over 800 pounds.
We were in the weight room the other day, Freddie Cadelli and I, the producer, talking about John Roper. From a standing start without a step, he can jump up on a box that's 54 inches high without taking a step. I don't know if you can appreciate that at home, but that's a pretty good jump for a guy that big.
That weight room, 23,000 square feet. Jackie Sherrill had it built. 3rd and 5. Stafford backpedaling. Looks. Sidewinds it. Incomplete. Stafford never saw it. 2 Aggies were crashing through. Terrence Brooks and Alex Morris. And he was lucky to get that one underway.
Well, this is what's beaten Stafford in past years. They go with the nickel. They put their linebackers down and send just about everybody. You can see defensive backs and everybody coming at Stafford. He does the right thing by getting rid of the ball.
There is Wayne Clements. He already has a 47-yard field goal. This one from 36 yards. Out of Highland Park High School in Dallas. Transferred a year ago from Tulane. Left-footed sidewinder out of the hold of Rob McManus. On its way, it is no good. He hooked it. 2:54 left to go in this first quarter. The winner goes to the Cotton Bowl. Right now, the Longhorns lead 3-0.
Hi. I'm looking for presents for my husband and son, and I've seen shirts, ties, books, records. But you know, they love sports.
There is a perfect present for guys like that. It's Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated.
America's #1 sports magazine. It gives them 55 weeks of great sports coverage, including special issues and the annual swimsuit issue. This year, they'll also get the 80th Olympic Preview Edition. And you'll get SI at the Christmas sale price. Over 60% off the cover price.
A sale before Christmas?
And no crowded stores.
No crowds?
Just call their toll-free Christmas hotline for 55 issues of Sports Illustrated at the Christmas sale price. 3 monthly payments of $15.99 each. You won't even be billed till next year. You even get a card for under the tree. Just call toll-free 1-800-274-5300.
I'm sold. Where's the phone?
Over there.
What's that number?
1-800-274-5300.
I know what I'm getting my boyfriend.
And my dad.
There's our time left in the first quarter here at College Station. It is 1st and 10 for Texas A&M, spotted at the 20-yard line, and Stump stays in at quarterback out of the I-Pro set. Gurley the fullback, Lewis the tailback. Stump, play action fake, the middle is wide open, fires, caught, and then dropped out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Looking for Harris. Can't get any more open.
And Fred Stromeil falls down, number 44. You'll see him on the ground as this ball goes up to your left. Number 44 for Texas. If this ball is caught and he can stop and go down the field, it's a touchdown. Defender was on the ground. You can see Harris looking at his hands. They're still your hands, Rod. Should have caught that one.
Stump is 0 for 2 in the passing department. Brockman is in at linebacker now. Britt Hager has not come back in. There goes Darren Lewis, who dances up across the 25, near the 26. Now word from the sideline that Britt Hager, and you guessed right, Kevin, a pinched nerve in the neck. Not sure whether or not he'll be back. So the junior out of Odessa, Texas, who wears number 60, got that jersey, number 60, after his freshman year. And of course, advocates of football at the University of Texas know that jersey was worn, the number was worn by Tommy Nobis, one of the great ones.
Maybe the greatest that ever played here at Texas, Jim. It's a great honor.
Also, the number was worn by Jeff Lighting. But Hager is out. Brockman is in. Stump on a rollout, 0 for 2. He's now 0 for 3. Incomplete at the 43-yard line. Clock stopped at 2:02. Gary Oliver, the freshman out of Breckenridge, Texas, the intended receiver. But Stump a little bit nervous, misfiring. Good secondary coverage by the Longhorns.
I'm surprised that the A&M offense has not immediately attacked the center of the Texas defense. Hager was a player that was designated by the Texas coaches. They could not lose him.
Out of Jefferson High School in Port Arthur, Texas. Coached by Mike Owens, Craig Stump will punt. This, a line drive. Metcalf will watch it hit and then get out of the way, and it takes a good bounce for the Aggies, stays in bounds, and finally rolls out of bounds at the 14-yard line. A terrific punt by Stump, 58 yards. They got an Aggie bounce. Game day every Saturday at 11:30 Eastern Time. Tim, Bino, and Kerry, the most comprehensive hour in college football. They'll have features for you, previews, live interviews, and of course, coming up Saturday, another CFA doubleheader. Game 1, Bob Rathman and Lee Corso from Boulder, Colorado, Nebraska, and the Buffaloes. Then at 7:30, Kevin and I will be in Atlanta, Georgia, for another great rivalry, Georgia and Georgia Tech. That one will be a good one. Those two schools don't like each other very much.
I've done that game before, Jim. It's always a great game.
Spot the ball at the 16-yard line. Stafford sets the Longhorns down. A delay to Metcalf. He's a long jump champion. Loose football. Aggies say they got it. Now, did the whistle blow? Bob Adam, the junior out of Lafayette, Louisiana, number 24, forced that fumble. The whistle had blown.
An interesting phenomenon with a running back like Metcalf. He freezes the defense. You can see that A&M is not as aggressive as they normally would be. When he gets the ball, he does all those little stutter steps, and he makes these guys freeze and hold their ground so he doesn't get away. This is the end of the play. That's a fumble. His knees weren't down, and he wasn't down. That should have been a fumble.
1:08 left to go in the first quarter. A terrible call. Stafford gives it to Metcalf. Slashes up to the 20-yard line where Sammy O'Brien, number 90, 2 sacks, 1 fumble recovery, great quickness, made the hit. Coaches say, Kevin, there aren't many middle linebackers in the country that can match the strength, the speed, the agility of Sammy O'Brien.
You know, I'll tell you something funny about him, too. He was dyslexic, and they didn't know he was having problems in school. They found out he was dyslexic. He's worked hard, stayed in the lineup, passed his grades, and now he's one of the better ones in the country, as you say.
Third and 6. Good blitz down.
Oh, yeah.
Stafford looks to the sideline. Got his man at the 28-yard line. Gabriel Johnson. That will be an Aggie, check it, a Longhorn first down. Jones and Brooks. But well, Johnson, wide open.
They say about Johnson, he's small, but he's slow. The guy is 5'9", 159. He runs great patterns, not great speed. And the line doing a super job on the outside, keeping those outside backers from getting to Stafford. He's able to hit Johnson, who runs those great patterns.
He's also a point guard on the basketball team. He's got great hands. And they say he has a knack for getting to the ball. Did right there. Longhorns, big first down. 1st and 10, Texas. Perry's son, Eric, knights his way up near the 30-yard line, and Roper's got him again.
John Roper, 6'2", 215. He's bigger than that, folks, and he's one of the best in the country. He sees it immediately. He knows he's trying to go wide. Not only does he cut off the outside lane from Metcalf, see him take that step outside, he's able to also react inside and make the tackle. And there are very few, although it looks simple for him, that can do that.
Time has wind down here at Texas and Texas A&M. The Longhorns a 47-yard field goal, and that's been it.
A message from Paine Webber, one of America's leading full-service investment firms. We're talking now with Donald Marin, chairman of Paine Webber. What does October 19th mean for the investor?
Well, for the investor, first and foremost, it means be very careful. You've gotten that signal out of the markets, if out of nothing else. For the investor, it means understand very clearly the relationship between cash, bonds, and stocks, and what it means to you. For the investor, it means look very carefully, not at tomorrow or next year, but at 3 to 5 years from now. For the investor, it means the world has changed, but it doesn't mean it's going to be worse. It means you have to be more careful, you have to be more precise, you have to be more focused, and you have to be more aware. For all those things, you need a combination of good, sound advice and your own good judgment. If you put those two things together, you'll come out very well.
Thank you. And if we can be of any help to you, please give us a call.
How's this for an idea? A fax machine that will send 30 pages to 99 locations and wait until after 11 p.m. when the rates go down. All at the touch of a button. Good idea? Pitney Bowes, a climate that grows ideas.
I'm Duke. This is my car. These are my people. This is my cookie. And this is my oil filter. Purolator. Why Purolator? Because they invented the oil filter. So they know how to make them right. And my people can learn from my noble example. Cookie, she don't care. She goes with me because I'm a legend.
You got your pure oil now, you got your pure oil later. Purolator oil filters.
Hi there. You looking for Mr. Right?
Give this guy a light.
Wow.
And Bud Light here.
Ask for Bud Light, the light beer with the first name and taste. Because everything else is just a light.
Thanks. Keep the change.
If all you're going to do is sit with your feet in cold water, most any waterproof boot will do. But if you're going to use your feet, you'll be happier in Red Wings. Because Red Wings are more than waterproof. They're comfortable.
The Longhorns have gone to 18 Cotton Bowls, the last one in 1984. The Aggies have gone to the last 2. They've been to 5 total. At stake, a Cotton Bowl bid. If these teams end up in a tie, the Longhorns go because the Aggies went in 85 and in 86. On 2nd and 7, nothing doing. Roper again met Mr. Metcalf in the backfield. And John Roper's been spending most of the game in that Longhorn backfield.
Think about the I formation. You can read it right away. Nobody coming wide. He's able to close immediately. And that's the result. You need to run at that backside guy if you want him to slow down.
Roper 5 tackles so far. Johnson comes out wide to the left. In the slot, Terry Cash. Stafford, a shovel pass, almost picked off. An incompleted pass. Wallace got in the middle. Stafford, I'm not sure, saw Wallace, Kevin.
Well, he was going to run that thing no matter what. And I think it was a great call, except for Wallace. Wallace was sitting right there. There was a lot of open. They had man-to-man on the outside. There was a lot of open territory in there, and Wallace not played it well.
Wallace with a reputation for making big plays out of Roosevelt High School in Dallas. Back deep, Rod Harris, 14-19 left to go. Fair catch at the 28-yard line. We're at College Station, Texas, and the story, 3 points off that A&M fumble, a 47-yard field goal. Total yards, look at that, the Longhorns 78, A&M just 22. A&M's longest drive, 8 yards. And Stump, 0 for 3 passing. Do you think we might see Bucky Richardson now?
Well, I think what they need there is somebody with experience. I don't think you want to put Bucky Richardson in for any extended period of time. I think we'll see him in the game. But you better have a guy in there that's not going to get nervous in a game this big. This is for everything. Cotton Bowl and the conference title, their 3rd straight. They want the experience.
Well, maybe in the mold of Tommy Novus and Jeff Lighting, number 60. Britt Hager returns for the Longhorns defensively. Stump. A little misdirection gives it to Lewis. He hammers his way up to the 30-yard line. A pickup of a short yard. 2nd down and 9 coming up. So Hager checks back in.
Well, that was Hager that made the tackle, Jimmy, but I noticed, although he read it and got in the hole, that was an arm tackle. Put his head and shoulder outside, and he just got an arm. He was able to pull the carrier down, but he didn't have that good thrust. A nerve injury like that, what it does, it's almost like it ignites. It takes a long time for the pain to quiet down, and when it does, it just makes you gun-shy to stick it in there again. It's really painful.
Yet to complete a pass. Misfires at the 39, looking for Rod Harris. Simply a curl-out pattern.
7-man rush. They picked it up. That was just accuracy. Stump had him open. He didn't hit him.
0 for 4. Now, this is a young man who will not get flustered. He's been replaced by 2 quarterbacks and has earned the right, literally fought his way back into the starting lineup. And when he was out, the coaches will tell you from Texas A&M, he was like a coach on the sideline. He worked with the young quarterbacks of the Aggies. He worked with Bucky Richardson. He worked with Lance Powell. He didn't go over the sideline and sit and sulk. at the 35. Keith Woodside.
Woodside is almost like a wide receiver, and they get him on the nickel back. Bierman, this is pretty good coverage, but talk about accuracy. That ball's right in there, and a nice play by Bierman. Looked like he got his hand on it, and Woodside couldn't hold it. But that was the matchup they wanted, and as bad as the pass was earlier, that one was that good.
So on 4th and 9, Stump, who's had a busy night, will kick it away to Metcalf again. This a line drive kick. He kicks away from Metcalf. It gets another Aggie roll. He'll pick up another 12 yards on the bounce. Down at the 20-yard line. 13:07 left to go before halftime. Longhorns lead 3-0.
Yeah, he held it. Hey, listen. Hey.
At the World Off-Road Championships, one truck won more races than any truck in history. Chevy truck. Built to win.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevy truck.
Introducing the G-Shock 5200 watch from Casio. The sports watch that's ready for action with a built-in shock absorber. It's tough. So tough, this G-Shock can take a slap in the face. And not even flinch. The G-Shock 5200, just one of Casio's water-resistant sports watches. It's one tough watch to beat.
3-0 Texas, and ESPN's exclusive presentation of CFA football is being brought to you by the Heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet, and by Casio, where miracles never cease. They've spotted the ball back at the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Longhorns. Stafford at quarterback. Works with Norris at fullback. Metcalf motions across. Stafford, quarterback draw. A pickup of 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. A design play, and there's John Roper again.
Those are great calls, Jim, you know, and the reason why he doesn't have to hand off with the crowd noise, he'll also make that defense watch for that play, and it makes them more tentative. So that's just an excellent call by the coordinator of Texas.
And for Roper, 6 solo tackles so far. The junior out of Houston, he's been a starter since he was a freshman out of Yates High School. Metcalf motion, Aggie show blitz, and oh, you can hear it up here. Norris hammered by Dana Batiste, number 48. Batiste spent 2 years behind Johnny Holland, the All-American. A great spring.
When you blitz everybody, you have a responsibility to get to the hole. This is Batiste's hole. He doesn't want Norris in it. And he does the job. He gets there just in time. Now, that's a called play where the defensive linebacker goes into the hole, and just so happened the running back was there.
Six defensive backs in. Fly pattern down the left side is incomplete, looking for Johnson. Tony Jones back on the coverage. Clock stop, 11:45 left to go before halftime. And another good defensive series for the Aggies. Lil Jadal is back deep. There's what he has done so far tonight. And Rod Harris, who averages about 11.5 yards, great speed, awaits at the 32. Low snap. Lil Jadal did a good job. High, towering kick. And the fair catch at the 37. A 41-yard punt, no return. And the first-year coach at Texas has a 3-0 lead.
Old soldiers never die, but neglected batteries do. That's why I feel better with a Delco battery under the hood. Seal tight, maintenance free. With plenty of startup power to handle cold mountain weekends.
Precision AC Delco parts. They don't just fit, they match.
We old soldiers spend our time on live trout, not dead batteries.
Now get up to $5 back on Delco batteries. See your retailer for details.
What's all the excitement at your Chevy dealers? It's Chevy National Pickup Month. Come see new option packages for $1988 that can save you up to $1,900 on Chevy S10 pickups. And take the test drive of the decade in the advanced new full-size Chevy. The first all-new full-size pickup introduced in this decade. See your Chevy dealer now during Chevy National Pickup Month. Everybody else is.
Saturday, the bull-bound Nebraska Cornhuskers close out their regular season with a Big 8 clash against Colorado. Then Lars Tate and the Georgia Bulldogs meet Georgia Tech live Saturday on ESPN.
She is called America and piloted by Mark Kynett of Conroe, Texas. The cameraman, Glenn Hampton, out of Akron, Ohio. The Goodyear blimp provided by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company out of Spring, Texas. The blimp is, not the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. First and 10 for the Aggies. They trail. Stump dives to the 42. Senegal, the senior, out of Houston, number 5, 6'1", 207 on the stop. He's submarine stump and wet down low. Texas A&M averaging about 1.5 yards per snap. Second and 6. Darren Lewis met head-on by Britt Hager, bad neck and all. The junior out of Odessa with yet another stop. He's so important defensively for the Longhorns.
Well, what an inspiration this kid is. I mean, these other people know he has a pinched nerve. I want to watch him. You can tell he's the guy with the black neck collar on. Watch him come in and fill this hole. Now, there's a type of hit with a pinched nerve, folks. That could really hurt. No problem for this guy, Hager. He looks at me, Rambo. It's a Rambo.
Well, I said he's so important. He's got 1 interception, 4 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, and 2 fumbles caused so far in the year. 10.5 before halftime. 3rd and 3. Stump completes his first pass and diving down to the 45 of the Longhorns. Perry Waddle, the freshman out of Columbus, Texas. He beat John Hagee.
Well, here's a guy, Tony Griffin, number 16, has no idea where the ball is, and this is dangerous. Griffin is in perfect position to make the interception. He never even goes for the ball because he doesn't have his eyes on the ball. He's playing the man. Had he kept his head up, he'd have had that one for a touchdown.
Norris, big hole right side, opened up by Fontenot and Bartley and Wilson. Matt Gurley on the carry. Hagee on the stop.
Number 60. This is why it works. Matt Wilson get his hands on him, hold him on the shoulder pads, and there goes Gurley right to his immediate right. He needs to be lower than that. The way to attack a great middle linebacker who's small, and Hager is small, is block him straight up with the center and run straight at him. That way he can't use his speed to go side to side and make the play. A&M did it for him.
6-yard pickup by Gurley. His dad played at Texas Tech. 2nd and 4. Stump better get rid of it. Incomplete at the 33-yard line. Stump gets hammered. And there in the middle of it again is number 60, Britt Hager. Brockman in there putting all sorts of pressure on Stump. He's having a tough night. 1 of 7, just 11 yards.
And Thomas Aldridge, he missed his first 9 passes in the Baylor game, so this is nothing new to Stump. It's not like he rips off 70% of his passes. Last week, I think he was 7 or 9 for 27 for 175 yards, but he made the big plays when he had to.
A 44% completion ratio coming in, hitting 36 of 81, 473 yards, and the Aggies 1 of 5 on 3rd down conversion. They're 1 of 6.
Great job on the outside again. Aldridge containing him and then forcing him up the middle. He's a not great runner. Rocky Allen bringing him down. Texas well coached defensively, doing a nice job.
8:50 and counting. Now, let's see if Stump stays in at quarterback or if he'll drop back and punt. How about this on 4th and 7? from the 42-yard line of Texas. The Aggies will go for it. And now they'll drop back. Hagee back deep. Stump. Line drive kick. Got all of this one. And was it a touchback or is it killed at the 1?
No, that's a safety. That hit the line. It hit the line and bounced back out.
So a touchback with 8:21 left to go before halftime. Longhorns still nursing that 3-0 lead.
Every day, Jack Taylor and Joe Donovan take the same road home. But today, they went a little out of their way.
Give you a hand.
Here's to you, the clean, crisp taste of Beechwood-aged Budweiser.
This Bud's.
For all the guys who go out of their way.
This Bud's for you.
Alpha team, aggressor tank spotted.
In a battle drill, you need horsepower, firepower, people power. That's teamwork.
Moving tank, direct front, 2,000.
This team uses a computer, thermal sight, laser rangefinder.
Fire! Yeah! All that you can.
We win, the whole tank wins. The whole team wins, not just one person.
Find your future in the Army.
Watch number 17, Hagee, now awaiting this punt by Stump. And let's see, watch the red line. That's the goal line. It's not in there, but on the first bounce, right there, about the width of the football for the touchback. 1st and 10, Longhorns at their own 20-yard line. Stafford at quarterback. Sends Jones wide to the left. Battle, top of your screen. Stafford, safety valves to Norris, and Norris will have a Longhorn first down up at the 32-yard line. Bumped out by Terrence Brooks. Well, on Sundays, ESPN, your source for pregame analysis and postgame reflection on the National Football League. At 11:30, Chris Berman, Pete Axelm, and Tom Jackson on NFL Game Day, a 1-hour preview of all the day's games. And then at 7 o'clock, the whole gang right back for NFL Primetime, a 1-hour show reviewing all the games of the day, the standings, and of course tomorrow night, Mike Patrick, Roy Firestone, and number 32, the legendary Jim Brown, this Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, the Browns and the 49ers. Ed Cunningham decided to get a head start.
Yeah, get the idea Ed was going to block down on that one?
It looked like a missile.
I think the interesting thing is that he didn't hit anybody.
And at 6'7", 295, he's hard to miss.
Yeah, that's right. And there's an elephant loose in the backfield. Now, who was he going to block? I think right there he realizes that's a good indication of what it's like to play linebacker. And it is a guy that was probably out there looking for some poor linebacker coming across the other way. And if he'd have got loose in there, it would have hurt.
Hey, speaking of elephants, how about the elephant walk the other day? We'll tell you about that in just a second. 1st and 15. Stafford gives it to Metcalf, and Metcalf gets sandwiched down at the 25 by Adam Bobb. All right, we talked about the elephant walk. More Aggies than you would ever want to see, including the head coach. Lock arms, they walk around the campus, and what did the coach do?
Walk through the fountain with over 8,000 of the seniors going over to the bonfire to die. That's what the elephants do here when they're seniors. And 8,500, I believe, and Jackie Sherrill right in the middle of them. They walked through the fountain. He had a pair of $200 shoes on. No matter, he took them right through there.
Yeah, he wasn't wearing his barn boots. He looked down, he said, oh my, what have I done? 2nd and 16. Metcalf motions near side. Blitz is on. Stafford dodges one red jersey and then is forced to the ground at the 27 by Terrence Brooks, the senior out of Dallas, Texas.
Stafford doing a nice job tonight, really avoiding the blitz. Now watch Wallace. Number 23 coming hard. He's one of the blitz brothers. Stafford recognizes it immediately, leaves Wallace on the turf, and heads upfield. Doesn't get many yards, but he didn't get sacked either.
3rd and 14. We said at the very top of the telecast this would be a defensive struggle. Not a lot of points.
Screen and draw here is what I'm looking for.
The screen to Metcalf. Big hole. Metcalf out of bounds. Close to first down yardage at the 42. Corrington, the All-American candidate out of right here in College Station, chased him out after a 14-yard pickup.
The reason this play is so effective is because these two blitz brothers, Roper and Wallace, on the outside. This is Wallace, 23. They come hard from the outside, and what Metcalf does on the draw is he'll step up inside of him. Here's the other side. He's getting blocked by Norris, but the draw play is a play that turns an aggressive defense against itself. See how they're coming? Metcalf steps inside of the rush by Wallace, and he's off on a 14-yard run. A good call, but they should have been ready for that for A&M.
10 carries, 33 yards for Eric Metcalf. Norris, nothing doing at the line of scrimmage. Stacked up by the sophomore out of Dallas, number 23, Aaron Wallace.
I don't think they really expect to get any yardage with that play. I think it's to keep them honest so that they can't just get into their rush pattern.
At the 42, Johnson wide to the right. In the slot, Kerry Cash. His freshman brother, Keith Cash, also a wide receiver, a twin brother. Motion on the right side. Dwayne Miller, the freshman out of Irving, Texas, might have jumped off sides. And speaking of Irving, Texas, the Cowboys and the Vikings went into overtime. 38 all. The Vikings pulled out a 44-38 verdict against the Dallas Cowboys. We'll have highlights with Alan Massengale and Eric Clemens coming up after our game. So the Vikings go to 7-4. They're still alive for a wild card spot. And the Cowboys drop to 5-6. And they don't lose many on Thanksgiving Day. Their Turkey Day record was 14-4-1 going in.
I think a lot of people are overlooking the Vikings as a Super Bowl contender. I think that's a team that if they get by the Bears, they could be right in it. They've got a pretty good football team.
Well, we talked about the three-headed quarterback for the Aggies. I'll tell you about the Vikings three-headed quarterback. 2nd and 15, Longhorn. Stafford, option. 2 red jerseys, and the first to get there was Adam Bobb, the junior out of Lafayette, Louisiana.
You get the feeling that on every tackle you see a linebacker. That's because, as I told you at the head of the show, the linebackers on this team are the best athletes. Bob follows this thing right down the line and gets actually blocked, I think, into the quarterback and makes a nice play. These guys are very active. Super players, all of them. And all new. They lost all 4 starters last year. They came back with these guys, and they're the best athletes on the team.
6 defensive backs in now, Kevin, for the Aggies on 3rd and 16. Let's see if they show the blitz. They show it, and they're coming. Draw to Metcalf. Penalty flag is down. And so is Metcalf at the 42. Washington and Corrington on the stop. And a penalty flag to be checked out. Hey, Kip Corrington, number 10, all right, the All-American candidate. Number 1 student out of 390 students in the A&M Liberal Arts College, a 3.967 grade average. His only B, Kevin, in American literature from 1879 to the present.
I got an A in that.
Did your paper on it?
Kip did my paper. That was offsides on the blitz on that 3rd down play by A&M. Texas to get another shot.
3rd and 16 was the situation. Metcalf on the screen, or on the draw, way shy of first down yardage. You know what the Longhorns, having the football so much in the first half, has done is really taken the noisy crowd out of the game.
Offsides. Third.
So it'll be 3rd and 11.
Texas is really, I think their game plan is excellent. They're making it work. Screens, draws, quick passes. Kerry Cash in the last 3rd down in the last series was open off the slot, the tight slot position. I'd be looking for him. Number 19 if he's in the game. I can't tell from up here. But this slot, closest to us, left slot, was wide open on a quick pattern.
Gabriel Johnson is slotted left. Tony Jones wide right. Stafford looks incomplete. looks for the tight end, and Aaron Wallace, who's got that reputation for big plays, putting pressure on Stafford, and he could not find Stephen Clark.
Well, over the years, pressure has been the answer against Brett Stafford, and here's Wallace, number 23, fighting through the block and all over Stafford, making him throw that pass. Not well.
Out of Wiley High School in Abilene, redshirted in '85. Lil Jadal will kick it away to Rod Harris. Harris waves for the fair catch. Watches it sail into the end zone. A 59-yard punt. 4.5 to go. Longhorns lead 3-0.
Hi. I'm looking for presents for my husband and son, and I've seen shirts, ties, books, records. But you know, they love sports.
There is a perfect present for guys like that. It's Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated.
America's #1 sports magazine. It gives them 55 weeks of great sports coverage, including special issues and the annual swimsuit issue. This year, they'll also get the 88 Olympic Preview Edition. And you'll get SI at the Christmas sale price. Over 60% off the cover price.
A sale before Christmas?
And no crowded stores.
No crowds?
Just call their toll-free Christmas hotline for 55 issues of Sports Illustrated at the Christmas sale price. 3 monthly payments of $15.99 each. You won't even be billed till next year. You even get a card for under the tree. Just call toll-free, 1-800-274-5300.
I'm sold. Where's the phone?
Over there.
What's that number?
1-800-274-5300.
I know what I'm getting my boyfriend.
And my dad.
Happy Thanksgiving from all of us at ESPN. I'm Jim Kelly. Kevin Conley's alongside. 4:34 left to go before halftime. The Longhorn Band. I don't see Big Bertha, the world's largest bass drum, in the middle. You saw Big Bertha last night.
She's got holidays on.
At yell practice. Motion by Oliver. Stump unloads. It's almost picked off at the 23-yard line. Stromile, the sophomore out of Dallas, Fred, and he would have had 20 yards of artificial turf and the touchdown that he hung on. Now a flag to be checked out at the line of scrimmage. Aggies are walking backwards. That's why. Jackie Sherrill, who will celebrate his 44th birthday this Saturday.
Been a couple of these tonight. Bad decisions by Stump. One we talked about earlier that better positioning would have given him an interception. Stromile there right in position. He just drops the ball. Now Texas plays tight man-to-man, and they're all over these guys.
Flipping by the offense. Still a first down.
The ball now back at the 10-yard line, so it's 1st and 20. 4:28 left to go. Aggies would be content, I'm sure, Kevin, to go out 3-0 at halftime, given their field position. And 1st and 20 coming up right now. Waddle, top of your screen. Oliver near side. Gurley throws a block. Woodside, the Rambles, look out! 90 yards, and they won't get Keith Woodside. Try for point after Keith Woodside, who has 9 games this year of over 200 yards. And it's good.
Gurley makes the block, number 38. And Woodside, who has been maligned for not running inside, on the outside once he turns the corner. I want you to watch Percy Waddle up here, number 15. Screening off Stromile, and then Duncan making 2 blocks, and Stromile would have had him if it wasn't for Waddle. Waddle screened him out. One other block for you, Gary Oliver on Griffin, who would have been the guy to slow him down originally. A lot of good blocks. You saw another one on the sideline going downfield. Woodside for a very big touchdown. This will not be a high-scoring game. That's 7 big points.
There he is, Woodside, Kevin. I said with 9 200-plus yard games. That was as a senior in high school. He had that. He had 519 yards coming in. Longest run from scrimmage, Bubba Bean, 94 yards against Texas Tech in 75. So that is the second longest run in Aggie history.
And the crowd is in it now. As you look at Woodside, the reason Darren Lewis has played such a big part on this team is because they felt that Woodside, who was supposed to take over for Vic, did not run. They needed a guy who would. It was Lewis, but it's Woodside right now that's the hero of this game.
Woodside, the star of last year's Cotton Bowl. Caught that touchdown toss from Kevin Murray. In fact, they had 3 receptions in the Cotton Bowl for 88 yards. So here come the Aggies. A squib kick. Lane Talbot takes it up to the 35-yard line and swarm tackle there. And, of course, the 12th man on the kickoff unit. A tradition that Jackie Sherrill started on the kickoff unit when he came here to Texas A&M. They talk about Jackie being a workaholic. They talk about him being innovative. He brought in that 23,000-foot weight room, started the 12th man on the kickoff unit. Really turned the A&M program around, didn't he?
It was a 5-year plan. In his 4th year, he won the conference title. Did it again in his 5th. This is his 6th.
Stafford has Metcalf in front, pulls it down, caught at the 48-yard line. That should be a Texas first down. Gabriel Johnson, the senior out of Dallas, Texas, number 31, 5'11", 159. Brooks and Jones on the coverage.
Well, realistically, they need to get to the 40-yard line for a 52-yard attempt, which is Clement's range, his longest of the year. 3 points would go a long way in this game, and I think that's the first goal for Texas.
Metcalf and Norris evened up in the backfield. Metcalf tripped up from behind by Aaron Wallace again.
Well, what they're doing is they're letting Wallace go. Now, Wallace is not going as deep. He's flattening out his rush a little bit. So watch the timing on this thing. He's trying to get there in front of the handoff. See how he makes the pivot? He's not out of control like he was early in the game going wide. He's shortening it down, looking for the draw. And on that play, he made the play.
Out of Roosevelt High School in Dallas, 4.6 speed, 2nd and 11 for the Longhorns. Metcalf motions toward you. Norris at midfield. Terry Price, number 88. Big surprise of the spring. Emerged as the starter. And he's the state shot put champion in high school. Out of Plano High School. 3rd and 8 coming up from the Longhorns. How about emotion? How about momentum? Texas in complete control until 4.5 left, and Woodside goes 90. Jones at the top of the screen. Johnson near side. Motion by Battle. And Metcalf. And Metcalf is gone. Catch him. He turned on the Jets at the 50, and you could see it from up here. He just outran the secondary.
The Texas people talked about this team, how they were 0-2, and they kept losing, and they wouldn't quit, and they had injuries, and they wouldn't quit, and he wouldn't let them quit, McWilliams, and they kept coming back, and we just saw an example of that right there.
Out of Highland Park High School in Dallas, Wayne Clements makes the extra point. And we have just had in 2 minutes 2 touchdowns. Another look Watch the Jets and the afterburners kick in here.
We talked about getting this guy in the open field. Now Wallace, again, he's too deep. The inside coverage is not getting there, the fill. And now you'll never catch Metcalf. He's not a big, strong kid, but you're not about to catch him. He's in the end zone. All right, here's the low angle. Now watch out. See, two guys out too wide. Wallace gets one hand on him, and this is that open field they were worried about. In a foot race, it's no contest.
His 10th rushing touchdown of the year puts the Longhorns back on top by 3, 10-7.
You need to talk about what this means to Texas. This game is the biggest game that Texas has played in years. David McWilliams is their guy. Took Jackie Sherrill, remember, 4 years to get in the Cotton Bowl when he took over A&M. Texas was down. McWilliams has got it his first year, and if there's one thing that's the trademark now of David McWilliams, when you think about Texas Tech last year, their program being down and coming back and fighting back, and Texas fights back. And we saw that, Jimmy. You asked about the emotion and the momentum of this game, and they came right back and scored on the ground. Big play, big play.
Harris is back deep. High kick. 9. Tripped up, or he might have gone the distance. Stromile on the stop, a 23-yard kickoff return by Harris. 2:26 left to go. At halftime, scores and highlights. Tim Brando will be in the studio, and Jimmy Johnson, the head coach of the Hurricanes, and we'll see Jimmy next week against South Carolina. But first, Jimmy Johnson's got the Irish of Notre Dame on Saturday. That will not be an easy contest
for either team. It's an interesting game. Miami still a shot at the national title. Notre Dame scrapping for the great year. It'll be a great ball game.
Big hole for Matt Gurley. Wrestled down at the 40-yard line, about a yard shy of a first down. John Hager, the senior out of San Antonio, the initial Longhorn to get there. Let's talk about head coach Dave McWilliams for a second. You were talking about the importance of this game. He said, throw out the Cotton Bowl bid. What's important is to reestablish that Texas can play on the same field with Texas A&M after the dominance. So forget about the Cotton Bowl. This is important for recruiting and to reestablish the Texas football program. Not that he wouldn't mind going to Dallas.
He wouldn't have to worry. He will go if he wins this game or ties.
Stump needs a yard. The hook and go. And Stump waited for the receiver to turn upfield. Hagee was back there on the coverage. Harris was a little bit late in reading the hook and go.
No, I think he thought better of it.
He said,
Stump pumped, and nobody moved. Everybody just sat deep. Hagee sat deep, and I think it was Senegal that was guarding him. He never even thought about coming up. These guys have been around a long time, defensive backs in Texas. They've got a lot of experience in the pump and go, and late in the first half, they're going to get him.
Greg is 1 out of 8 for 11 yards. 2nd and 1. Gurley, right side. Hager on the stop, pinch nerve and all.
Jimmy, we're going to see a lot of that in the second half. They've had most of their success, aside from the Woodside run outside. They can run inside on this team. Hagee's not as good straight up as he is going tackle to tackle.
Aggies have asked for a timeout with 97 seconds left to go before halftime. Longhorns lead by a field goal.
Okay, let's see what you got. Cocktail weenies. Alfalfa sprouts. Looks like wimp food to me. Where's the starting lineup? You, Chunky, get over here.
Nothing takes care of a mean appetite like the hearty chunks of beef and garden vegetables in Campbell's Chunky Sirloin Burger Soup.
That better not be the last of the Chunky.
Campbell's Chunky. It takes care of the meanest appetites.
Painting is hard work, so you want a paint that works hard for you. A paint that covers in one coat. A paint that's washable. A paint that lasts a long time. A quality paint that's backed by research and careful manufacturing. That's why you should demand Dutch Boy.
Dutch Boy never lets up. He always looks good. He works hard for your money.
The Southwest Conference has always been rich in tradition, a tradition of excellence. From Heisman and national champions to Olympic champions, from doctors of philosophy to doctors of medicine, from newsmakers to people who report the news, from legislators with a dream to the dream himself, from Pulitzer and Nobel Prize winners to advocates of noble causes, and to the many other graduates who've gone a little farther and higher because of our universities in the Southwest Conference. The Southwest Conference, a tradition of excellence.
97 seconds left before halftime. The Longhorns took a 3-0 lead. And then with 4.5 left, Woodside went 90 yards to put the Longhorns in a deficit, 7-3. Texas came right back as Metcalf went 50. Stump. Flares one out. Woodside dives for first down yardage at the 45 of Texas. The winner goes to Dallas for the Cotton Bowl. And if it's a tie, the Longhorns go. Hurry-up offense for the Aggies. Stump in an out pattern. Looks, and he's got Harris, and Harris has got it at the 35. That should be another first down.
2 plays ago, Texas went for some pressure when Stump hit Woodside. This is not the last play, but the one before. Now watch the middle linebacker, Hager. A little bit of a delayed blitz. Just about there. Stump got it off and completed it to Woodside. That was the play before the last one.
1:21. The Aggies with 2 timeouts. Texas has all 3 left. Stump now 3 out of 12. A little delay to Darren Lewis. Boy, they could get the freshman free, but he is sandwiched by white jerseys with red numerals. The first to get there, Bobby Duncombe. So as the Aggies use another timeout, they have 1 remaining. How about the scoring summary in half number 1? A 47-yard field goal by Clements early on, and Texas led 3-0. It was that way until there were 4.5 minutes left. And then Keith Woodside, a 90-yard run to put the Aggies on top, 7-3. A kickoff, and 2 plays later, Eric Metcalf goes 50 yards, and the Longhorns are back on top by 3. And a good first half. Well, there's the Corps of Cadets, one of the great traditions here in Aggie land. The spirit, once an Aggie, always an Aggie. And the head Aggie right there.
The aggregate Aggie.
That's right. And, of course, the legend here at College Station. When Aggies score on the field, the Aggies score in the stands, too. You get to kiss your date. Now, there were some lean years, Kevin, and rumor has it that during some of the lean years, they get to kiss their dates if they got a first down.
Yeah. Not many babies born in those years here in these parts. Well, they've got 1 shot at it tonight, thanks to Woodside.
They puckered up after Woodside went 90 yards. Total yards, Texas 170, A&M 168. First, second, it's second and 11 from the 36. Blitz. Stump unloads. Dribbled at the 32. Woodside in the vicinity. Stump under tremendous pressure. Giles, the freshman, number 95, and also Senegal.
Well, you start thinking field goal now. Now, Slater is a field goal kicker. He's not had a great year. He's 13 of 20, but he did kick 4 in the last game against TCU.
.68 seconds left. Slater on the sideline has not had a busy night. Stump head, dodging Longhorn. 3rd and 11. Incomplete at the 25, thrown in the direction of Rod Harris. But the junior was a good 4 yards off the ball. Let's see if Slater will tee it up. Pressure by Steve Llewellyn, number 93, the junior out of Fort Worth, Texas. 6'6", 270, right up there in Craig's face.
Llewellyn playing a good game considering he was supposed to have surgery, as I indicated, prior to the TCU game.
Now let's see if it'll be Stump to punt or Slater to try a field goal. Slater will try a 53-yard field goal, his longest this year is 46. Stump will put it down. On its way. It's up. Got the distance. It is. Good! A 53-yard field goal by Scott Slater, the junior out of Fort Worth. The longest Texas A&M field goal, 65 yards by Tony Franklin against Baylor back in '76. So the Aggies scored, and they can pucker up in the stands. Longest field goal of Scott's career right here, 53 yards. Stump put it down. This one had plenty of distance.
Well, sometimes those are easier when you don't expect to make them. You can concentrate. When you're worried about distance, you can just concentrate on kicking the ball and getting as much distance as you want. And quite often they happen to go through the goalpost, as happened with Slater.
And the 12th-man kickoff team instituted by Jackie Sherrill when he got here in 1983. And in the stands, of course, they all stand in case they're needed. That 12th-man legend goes all the way back to 1922. The first 12th man was E. King Gill. He was up in the stands, called on just before halftime by Coach Dana Bible. Came back down. They didn't have dressing rooms then. They had to change under the stands. So he suited up. That's the legend of the 12th man.
Kicking game, very important here. Metcalf, lots of all-purpose yards this year.
The 5, 25. Norris chopped down at the 28-yard line, a 23-yard return. Hey, a big college basketball game. Kansas against Chaminade tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern time. And that'll be followed by the Great Alaska Shootout. Dick Vitale, Syracuse, and Courage against, and then Michigan and Miami of Florida at 7:30. So we've got college football, college basketball. You're home for college sports, ESPN. We've got a great schedule of basketball games. But we've got a long way to go with the football season. South Carolina and Miami coming up in about 10 days. Joe Morrison will take his Gamecocks down and face Jimmy Johnson Hurricanes, and you'll hear Jimmy Johnson at halftime with Tim Brando. But imagine his focus is on the Irish and Lou Holtz. It better be. Well, it was 3-0, and in 4 minutes, we've had 17 points put on the board. 10 by the Aggies and 7 by the Longhorns. We've got a 10-10 tie right now on 2nd and 6. Longhorns content to go out tied at halftime, and why not, Kevin? If this game is tied, they go to the Cotton Bowl.
That's right. They can play for a tie, and they're here in College Station. A tie at halftime is good enough. They can win it in the 4th quarter.
So we are halfway there. The Aggies and the Longhorns. The winner goes to the Cotton Bowl. The loser to the Bluebonnet Bowl. Jackie Sherrill, 44 years old this Saturday. A 10-10 tie. Scores and highlights. And Jimmy Johnson coming up with our host, Tim Brando. We're at halftime. Stay with us.
All right, Jim Kelly, thank you very much. We are looking very much forward to our halftime guest, Jimmy Johnson, who really is only 2 steps from being in position to claim a national championship, a position that he remembers quite well. That, along with a review of today's NFL Turkey Day action, and Beano Cook ahead on the MetLife halftime scoreboard.
Let me pay for the car. You paid last time, so I'll pay again. How come you're so anxious? Oh, look, isn't that,
Another 500 Advantage miles for renting Avis. Here you are, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone can sign up for the American Airlines Advantage program.
We got red hot cars, we got a red hot crew, 500 Advantage miles, and they're all for you. Avis, we're red hot for you.
Here's the red hot deal. 500 Advantage miles with every qualified rental. Just give us your American Advantage number whenever you rent Avis, and another 500 miles can be credited to your Advantage account for trips on American Airlines to Hawaii, the Caribbean, or Europe.
We got red hot cars, we got a red hot crew, we got super value rates, we try harder too.
I'll need your Advantage number.
Oh, this one's on me. When you're hot, you're hot.
Avis, 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 red
Your face takes enough abuse, so you need the Gillette Good News Plus disposable. Its Lubra-Smooth strip is designed to reduce irritation, so shaving feels so good. Good News Plus.
To Michelob.
Metropolitan Life manages assets of over $100 billion. That's some big security blanket. Get Met. It pays.
The CFA Scoreboard is being brought to you by Metropolitan Life and affiliated companies. Get Mets. It pays.
Tim Brando back again with you. We're tied at 10 at halftime. Now, coming up, a week from Saturday, it will be South Carolina taking on Miami. USC from South Carolina. But first, it's got to be Miami taking on Notre Dame. And joining us now live from Miami is the head football coach of the second-ranked Hurricanes, Jimmy Johnson. And, Coach, congratulations on having your team in this position in the transition post-Vinny era.
Well, I tell you, we're proud of our football team. We lost a lot of great players last year, Testaverde, Riccozzi, Jerome Brown, Moss, on, and no one expected us to be in this position, but we're happy to be undefeated. We've got two very tough games coming up.
There's some talk, Coach, about some bad blood between you and Notre Dame because of the '85 game when you supposedly, in the minds of some, ran up the score, and because you really shut the door and locked them out of the Orange Bowl. 3 weeks ago, reportedly, you had the Orange Bowl sewn up. Is there going to be some bad blood displayed in this game come Saturday?
Well, I don't know if there's any bad blood. We have a lot of respect for Notre Dame. They're a great institution. We are very proud of what we've been able to do here at the University of Miami, and I think it's going to be a great ball game. I don't know that there's going to be hard feelings. I know they were concerned about the score a couple of years ago, but we played a lot of second and third string players the entire second half and all of the fourth quarter.
Lost somehow in all of your success the last few weeks and after the very big first half of the year that you had coming back to beat Florida State, were the suggestions that Jimmy Johnson's future could lead to another coaching job elsewhere. Are you at this point considering another post once your stint this season is up at Miami?
No, not really. I've got a contract for another 4 years. I'm happy here in Miami. I love living in South Florida. It's the greatest place in the world to live. And we've won a lot of football games around here. We enjoy winning, and so I have no expectation to go anywhere else. There has been some thought about possibly me going into the NFL, but really I don't see myself leaving and going anywhere other than right here in Miami.
I heard a motor scooter going by. I hope that wasn't Vinny Testaverde.
No.
Listen,
I wish it was Vinny coming back.
Tell me about how you stopped Tim Brown, the multifaceted player for Notre Dame.
Well, I don't know that you stop him. I think our football team has a chance possibly to keep the ball away from him. You've got to make sure you kick the football away from him. You've got to make sure that he doesn't touch it too many times, because if he touches it, he's going to put it in the end zone.
All right, Coach, good luck and congratulations on the job thus far. And, of course, we'll have you a week from Saturday. Jimmy Johnson,
thank you, Tim.
the head football coach of the Miami Hurricanes. Now, that game is not the only meaningful matchup in college football on Saturday. There's a lot more, and we'll have it for you on College Football Game Day. Notre Dame's Lou Holtz and Heisman frontrunner Tim Brown needed 2 points last week at the end against Penn State. They didn't get the 2. Now they must rebound against Miami.
We're playing a great football 6 weeks to get ready for us, and in a game like this, you got to play great defense, and that's the main concern we have right now, is that we play great defense down there. If we play great defense, we have a chance, but if we don't, we have no chance.
Their opponents have been overpowering on both sides of the line of scrimmage, but after blowing out Arkansas and then coming from behind to beat Florida State, the Canes have played up to the level of their competition, which has not been that good lately.
I won't call it looking past, Virginia Tech and Toledo.
The morale of the team, I mean, we just didn't go out and play, team football. I mean, and looking at it, we all played, individual football. I mean, the seniors most likely, tout, trying to pad their statistics and say, hey, and we had a meeting Monday and we said, it's time to play team ball, get all the individual, praise that, you're trying to receive. And if we don't play team ball the next 3 games, I mean, we're going to have a rude awakening.
Florida State head coach Bobby Bowden needed 2 points against Miami. But as was the case for Lou Holtz, the Seminoles failed in their opportunity. But the affable Bowden has no regrets.
Seems like as the year went along, everybody's 20/20 hindsight got clearer and clearer looking back at the Miami game. Any regrets at this point?
No, I never worry. People ask me, said, have you ever worried? Do you worry about? No, I can't worry about. I can't do something we've already done. When we went for 2, there was no doubt the next week that was the most popular thing I ever did in my life. Oh, everybody just loved it. Oh, the bravery, the patriotism, the American way of life, that I show. I knew in about 5 weeks I'd start getting them letters. Why didn't you go for 1? And sure enough, they've started rolling in. Why didn't you go for 1, stupid?
And we'll profile a Heisman candidate, Don McPherson, who has had great success going for 2 points, as was the case last week when he brought the Orangemen back to beat West Virginia 32-31. There have been many exciting 2-point plays that have gone through college football history. Many have won a national championship, and many have lost a national title. Tom Osborne is certainly aware of that. And we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the 2-point play to college football on Saturday. And the man that engineered the most memorable one, Bernie Kosar. And you'll see Kosar as a pro when the Browns take on the 49ers on Sunday night here on ESPN at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Mike Patrick and Roy Firestone will be joined by Jim Brown. And, of course, you'll see Chris Berman, Pete Axthelm, and Tom Jackson on NFL Game Day and NFL Primetime. Speaking of the NFL, we've got today's action coming up next when the Met halftime report continues. At halftime, the Aggies and the Longhorns are deadlocked at 10-10 in College Station. We'll be back.
Introducing AmberVision, the most amazing breakthrough in vision technology since glasses were invented. These super glasses actually improve vision indoors, outdoors, day or night. We guarantee it. Look, AmberVision blocks the blurring blue rays, the same rays that cause haze and fog.
Everything is so much crisper and clearer.
I can't believe my own eyes. They're amazing.
AmberVision blocks 100% of the dangerous ultraviolet light with UV 400, the best protection for your eyes. You'll wear these high-fashion glasses all year round, and one size fits all.
Oh, I can't believe the difference.
Catalogs offer similar glasses for $59.95, but now you can order AmberVision for just $10 on this special offer. Seeing is believing, so order AmberVision today.
Clip-on model is also available. Credit card users call 1-800-445-4000. That's 1-800-445-4000. Or send just $10 plus $2.50 shipping to AmberVision, Box 2500-E, West Caldwell, New Jersey, 07007.
Feel it, feel it, feel it. That Noxzema feeling. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, oh so close.
It's here. Noxzema Shave Cream for extra sensitive skin. Feel that soothing blue lather protecting you from irritation. Feel the closeness. Feel the comfort.
Feel it, oh so close.
Medicated Noxzema Shave Cream for extra sensitive skin.
That Noxzema feeling. Feel it, oh so close.
Clear, crisp, and bright. 7-Up has the feeling of Christmas.
College football is known for its tradition, but there are some traditional matchups on Thanksgiving Day in the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys, 5-5 at the start of the day, against the Vikings, who are sitting at 6-4. So obviously, today's game in Irving had wild card ramifications stacked all around it. Let's show you how it went. Late in the second quarter with a 14-14 tie, Tommy Kramer. And this would be a typical play all day. AC, Anthony Carter with a touchdown, 21-14 Vikes at the half. Carter, 8 receptions, 184 yards. 2 minutes remaining now. 38-31 Cowboys down. Danny White to Mike Renfro for the touchdown. He had 7 catches, 100 yards on the day. It's 38 all. Chuck Nelson has a chance to win it for the Vikes with seconds remaining. His 46-yarder no good, his 4th miss of the game, and we go to OT. And watch Darren Nelson after a Danny White interception, his 3rd of the day. He goes through for the touchdown of Thriller, 44-38 in overtime. The Minnesota Vikings against the Dallas Cowboys. The tradition is not the same in Detroit, not only because the game is indoors, but because the Lions and the Chiefs were 1-9 and 2-8 respectively going into play today. Here's Bill Kenny finding Paul Kaufman for a touchdown, 14-0 Kansas City. Lions also score in the second quarter. Chuck Long, quick pitch to Carl Bernard into the end zone to make it 14-7. It was 24-10 at the half. Now, a new record on the day for kicker Nuke Lowry. Lowry hit 2 field goals of 52 and 54. First NFL player to have a pair of 50-plus yard field goals in a game twice. Lions late rally in the 4th now as Long looks over the middle for Gary Ellerson, a 10-yard strike to make it 27-20. It would not be enough, though. The Chiefs go on to win it. Coach Gans is a happy man. 27-20, the final score. Speaking of traditions, who better than Beano Cook to talk about the traditional rivalries in college football? We'll get to that when we continue with the MetLife Halftime Report. It's 10-10 at halftime.
To create new words, you need to see in new ways. Be curious. Look at the problem from another direction. Commit yourself to the long term. Keep your mind open. Look for breakthrough ideas. From aerospace to healthcare, we're creating new worlds by seeing in new ways. BASF, the spirit of innovation.
Listen, sweetheart, have you any idea what would happen if you rent a car from somebody other than Thrifty? Chances are they'd cost too much. Thrifty car rentals near the airport, not in it. Their overhead's lower, so they cost less. If you don't rent from Thrifty, you'll regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon for the rest of your life.
A luxurious Chrysler 5th Avenue from Thrifty, just $29.95 a day. Call 1-800-4CARS.
Thrifty, this is the start of a beautiful friendship.
You don't need magic to conjure up the best buy on a new garage door. Just don't get fooled by illusions. Picking the cheapest price usually turns into less than a bargain. Or demand quality, but don't expect to get it for nothing. The trick is to put affordability and quality together. The solution is at your overhead door distributor. A great door at a great price, installed just right, guaranteed. Look in the yellow pages. Overhead door, we're all the magic you need.
Hey, guess what I'm getting Mom for Christmas? Oh, another Ferrari. Better than that. The top-rated Magnavox compact disc player. In fact, everyone on my list is getting a Magnavox. How about Sarah? Portable CD. Grandpa. 52-inch TV. Nancy. Lightweight camcorder. Oh, smart, Tom. Very smart. Yeah. Boy, are they going to be surprised. Not anymore. You just told everybody they're getting a Magnavox for Christmas. But they don't know when. They don't know when.
The 14th College Football Saturday, of course, begins with game day at 11:30 Eastern Time. We'll have Bobby Bowden with us live just prior to his game with Florida. Now, a big triple hitter, of course, at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Nebraska meeting Colorado. Then at 7:30, Georgia Tech against Georgia. And at 11, it's Ickey Woods of UNLV continuing his shot at the rushing title. He could get past the Ironhead with 184 yards, and you'll have a chance to see him. Now, Beano Cook joins us now. We're seeing a great traditional rivalry between Texas and Texas A&M, but we've got another one come Saturday, the Ramblin' Wreck against the Dogs.
Yes, it's Georgia Tech and Georgia. It's not as great as it used to be because Georgia Tech is not that national power. But at one time, they had a great coach, and his name was Bobby Dodd. And Jack Wilkinson, a sports writer in Atlanta, has written a book, Dodd's Luck. And I've read segments of it. It's a very good book on Bobby Dodd. Read it.
There are some great coaches, of course, that have been a part of traditionals, like Fred Akers. Let's talk about the coaching profession right now in college football. After Earl Bruce, everyone starts thinking about who could be in trouble right now.
Well, Dick Crum, if he resigns, it seems the leading candidates. Again, if Crum resigns. The leading candidates, Fisher DeBerry of the Air Force and Mackovic, John Mackovic, former Wake Forest coach, assistant at Dallas, and head coach at Kansas.
All right, I'll see you
City.
Saturday.
Yes.
Enjoy the turkey.
Yes.
I know I've got
the real turkey was Kansas City, Detroit.
That's right.
What a turkey that was. People watch that.
All right.
Ooh.
Yep, but I watched it, so I guess I am. Jim Kelly and Kevin Kiley are coming up. We'll see you Saturday at 11:30 Eastern Time.
The CFA Scoreboard has been brought to you by Metropolitan Life and affiliated companies. Get Met, it pays.
A lot of people who don't think they need a hearing aid may already have one.
Up 2 streets, take a right.
He said up 2 streets and take a right.
They bring their hearing aid with them everywhere.
What'd he say?
He said he doesn't want to leave her, but he has to.
Now there's a hearing aid for people reluctant to wear one. It's called Miracle Ear. If you can hear people talk but can't understand all the words, if you have nerve deafness, Miracle Ear could help. And Miracle Ear is tiny, practically unnoticeable. Call 1-800-233-9800 for a free booklet about better hearing, what steps to take next, and how to get a free hearing test.
Thousand Island or vinaigrette?
She said Italian, Thousand Island, or vinaigrette.
Call Miracle Ear, 1-800-233-9800. The phone call, information, and hearing test are free. Call now. When you're losing your hearing, the worst thing to do is nothing.
What did he say?
In communities across America, there's a working spirit. People working together with a feeling of pride. Where that feeling exists, there's Dickies Work Clothes. America, it still works. Dickies, the brand it works in. Dickies, made with Celanese Fortrell polyester.
I never realized the world was so full of hazards.
That's why there's a company like MetLife, because sometimes things do get out of control.
Hey!
That's why over 43 million people look to Met to be there when things go wrong. That's why you should get Met.
It pays.
The 94th renewal of one of the great rivalries in college football. The Aggies and the Longhorns knotted up at 10 apiece at halftime. Hi again, everybody. I'm Jim Kelly. Welcome back. My partner Kevin Kiley is here. It was a dandy. It was 3-0 Texas till just 4.5 minutes left to go. And then Keith Woodside went 90 yards with his 12th rushing touchdown. Aggies went on top 7-3, but if you left your seats, then you missed Eric Metcalf coming right back for the Longhorns. He went 50 unanswered yards, and then a 53-yard field goal by Slot Slater. We were all tied up at 10-10 at the intermission. Now, number 60. Britt Hager had a great first half for the Longhorns. You think that they're going to run right at him in the second half. How come?
Well, I do, because number one, he's got a pinched nerve in his neck. Number two, he's the smallest type of player, number 60. And number three is if you attack that 6-1 defense and you defeat it in the middle of the field, there's your blue arrow and Britt Hager. If you can defeat the middle linebacker, you can defeat the defense, and they are a very strong inside running team. Now, here's Hager going off tackle. This is his strength. He's able to go outside, beat the center because of his speed, and make the tackle on Lewis. That's what he does well. Because he's small, watch Wilson run right at him, the center, and here comes Gurley, the fullback. See how they push him back? He doesn't have the physical strength. Maybe that pinched nerve is a problem, but that's where the weakness and the strength of the Texas defense is. It's in the middle. If they try to go off tackle, he'll play well. If they go right at him, I believe they can handle him, and that is the strength of the A&M offense. Look for them to use power right up the middle this half on Hager. Jim?
All right, partner, we're just about set to kick it off. There's the Longhorn Band. Did they bring Big Bertha with them? The world's largest bass drum is 8 feet in diameter, 54 inches wide. It weighs 500 pounds. And we take a look at our first half stats. Not a great half passing for either team. The Aggies just 3 out of 12 in the air. Brett Stafford not much better in the face of that great blitz by the Aggie defense. 5 out of 12. So you see, 34 yards passing for A&M, 58 yards for the Longhorns. On the ground, and of course most of that yardage for Texas A&M, 90 yards by Keith Woodside on one run, 50 of the yards for the Longhorns on Eric Metcalf's touchdown jaunt. So Clements, right there, the sophomore out of Dallas, Texas, who put the Longhorns up 3-0 with an initial 47-yard field goal, will kick it, and back deep is number 17, Rod Harris, who averages about 23 yards on kickoff returns. 30 minutes left to go in the battle for the bragging rights to the Lone Star State. The winner goes to the Cotton Bowl, the loser to the Bluebonnet. If we're tied at the end of this game, the Longhorns would go to the Cotton Bowl because the Aggies have gone the last 2 years. Harris at the 5. Upended at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Aggies there. All right, A&M in the first half. How did they do? 2 plays and a fumble, not very well. That led to the field goal by Clements. 5 plays and a punt. That was followed by 3 plays and a punt. Stump was having trouble passing. In fact, he's only 3 out of 12 in the first half. Another punt after 3 plays and out on 3 successive drives. 6 plays and a punt. And then the 90-yard touchdown run by Keith Woodside. And then the field goal by Slater from 53. And the 10 points put up by the Aggies of A&M. Morgan and Ross, the double tight end. Pitchback goes to Keith Woodside. Broke it for 90 and the score the last time he touched the ball. This time he picks up 3. Tony Griffin has him there for the Longhorns.
Texas coming out protecting their linebackers. More of a stacked look. They had them offset on that play, not the straight 6-1 look. I really believe A&M has got to establish their running game. And Texas very thin, very few substitutes. 3rd and 4th quarter could be tough on the starters.
Same play, same direction. Woodside behind the blocking of Jerry Fontenot and Tony Bartley. And there is Britt Hager on the stop again, number 60.
As Hager with that pinched nerve, you can see him trying to shake it off. He's got to be hurt. Now, here's Hager sitting in the middle. Now, this is really his strength. See how he steps inside, goes down the line, and he's having a problem. You see that tackle? He's having a real problem with that shoulder. He was in position. He didn't put his head and his neck in there, and he may have to come out because that thing won't get any better for a middle linebacker.
Oliver comes to the near side. Gurley and field. Stump on the option, running down the line, and Hager again.
Again, I said, coming into this thing, they need to run right at this guy. He's offset a little bit, takes a false step. They don't knock him off, and he's able to get outside. Now, that's the strength of that guy. In order to defeat him, you've got to go right at him. They didn't, and they didn't get a first down.
Stump averaging about 47 yards per kick. He's booted it 5 times, and Metcalf standing back at his 33. Stump drills one that Metcalf will fair catch at the 32. 13:01 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The Aggies and the Longhorns tied up 10-10. All right, how did the Longhorns do in the first half? Well, their first drive went 18 yards and resulted in a touchdown. 3 plays followed by the interception. We'll redo that Longhorn drive because it was 3 plays and out. Longhorns' first score was not a touchdown, it was a field goal. Stafford. His man at the 38-yard line, Gabriel Johnson, and then it's dropped. Boy, that was right in the breadbasket, and Johnson didn't hang on. Here's golf gloves on.
Those are receiver's gloves. That's a new item that they have out now. That they used to wear special gloves, but they didn't have that abrasive surface on it. Now they've gone to an actual receiver's glove. It's manufactured, and it helps you catch the ball.
It's like the stuff 3M developed and put on Stars and Stripes. Shark skin-like material. 2nd and 10. Metcalf motions near side. The fullback, Darren Norris, out of Oceanside, California, and all he sees are red jerseys. The first one to arrive is Sammy O'Brien. Second on the team in tackles with 86. He bench presses 352. 4-9 speed, which is not too bad when you play middle guard. 6'3", 260 pounds, all Southwest Conference last year. Stafford looks over the defense, looking at 3rd and 11. 6 defensive backs in. Let's see if the Aggies are coming. They are. Stafford picks it up over the middle. Incomplete and dropped at the 48-yard line. Boy, the middle was wide open. Terry Cash, Kevin, from up here was wide open, and Stafford didn't see him.
He never looked. He was going to throw it over the middle no matter what. Mickey Washington is sitting right in the middle of this thing, a zone. Right there, coming hard. That play was never designed to go anywhere else.
Lil Jadal, 4 punts, averaging about 49 yards a kick. And the Aggies just missed. No flag. Harris watches it roll, now fields it. Boy, that was a dangerous play. 1st and 10 Aggies at the 31. 12:07 left to go. The battle for the Lone Star State, all tied at 10.
It's time for Lifestyles of the Original Party Animal with the Grand Poobah of Partyometry, Bud Light's own Spuds MacKenzie, as he's planning tonight's Big Bash. His fans watch as he tans his way to party elegance, a facial and massage, and Spuds MacKenzie is ready to party. And Spuds parties with only Bud Light. He knows everything else is just a light.
There is a town where the assembly line mentality does not exist, where craftsmanship is revered, where precision is a way of life. A town where the largest occupation is that of car maker. The town is Kalmar, Sweden, the only place in the world where this car could be built. The new Volvo 760.
Aggies and Longhorns tied at 10, and ESPN's exclusive presentation of CFA football is being brought to you by Volvo, a car you can believe in, and by Temstar, the newest name in home heating and air conditioning. You can rely on the Star. Well, we speculated whether or not Bucky Richardson would come in. The freshman is out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 6'1", 195 pounds. He excels in the option. Fullback loses the ball. Longhorns have got it at the 43. Gerald Senegal, the senior out of Houston, after Matt Gurley coughed it up.
And there's that up the middle play we talked about with Gurley, the big guy. Watch number 60 in the middle. Wilson, the center, seals him off, and here's Gurley on the backside. Never really had it, didn't get it knocked out, just kind of lost it on his own. And Senegal pounces right on it. Another big turnover for Texas, who Texas was concerned with turning the ball over themselves. They haven't, but they picked up 2 big ones from A&M.
Stafford looks near sideline, incomplete at the 39 for Tony Jones. Texas capitalized on an Aggie mistake for their first field goal. Good field position again for the Longhorns, already in Aggie territory. Texas turnovers in 6 wins. They've committed 5 turnovers, 4 losses, 27 turnovers. So far tonight, Kevin, no mistakes on turnovers for Texas. Norris is the fullback. That's motioning across by Metcalf. Norris. A little hitch delay up near the 41. Leon Cole, the junior. 6'4", 270 pounds, out of East Orange, New Jersey, on the stop.
We just get word that Chet Brooks, the fine safety for Texas A&M, is out of the game with a broken fibula. Obviously, he will not return. A senior from Dallas. Pretty good player.
3rd and 7. Backs even up. Norris and Metcalf. To Metcalf. They were playing number 2 the whole way, and Aaron Wallace again on the stop. The Blitz brothers.
Well, this has to do with the angle of the rush. We talked about it earlier. Watch number 23. He's going to come from the left of your screen. See how he flattens out immediately. He's not really rushing the passer anymore. He's rushing the draw play. Defensive people tell him about that. R.C. Slocum, he comes in and he's able to make the play. Got to be careful, though. They can get wide on that real quick.
There is Rod Harris back deep, and Lil Jadal, an all-state quarterback in high school, hangs this one inside the 5, and it's finally dead at the 6-yard line. Bad field position for the Aggies, tied up with the Longhorns 10-all. We've got 10:35 to go in the third quarter.
How well does your car stand up to heavy traffic?
Temstar, the new name that brought advanced reliability to home heating. High-efficiency gas, electric, and oil furnaces. Versatile heat pumps and gas-electric units.
Where do you think they come from?
Look in the yellow pages for Temstar or Whirlpool heating and cooling, or phone toll-free.
The Goodyear blimp, of course, provided by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company, based in Spring, Texas. This blimp, named America, Mark Kynan out of Conroe, Texas, and the cameraman Glenn Hampton of Akron, Ohio. I wonder if Glenn can get a shot of that bonfire that's still smoldering about 200 yards away. 5,500 logs ignited after being doused by jet fuel last night. And then 45,000 Aggie fans there for yell practice. Stump back in at quarterback from the end zone. Fires, and he's got his man, Sylvester Morgan. Morgan bumped out of bounds up near the 17-yard line. An 8-yard completion. Hagee back on the coverage. Biggest asset, the coaches say. He is so highly competitive. Jackie Sherrill said at breakfast this morning, most young men would have quit having been benched, working with young freshmen and sophomore quarterbacks. Big hole up the middle for Gurley, who fumbled the last time. Not this time. He rammed straight ahead up to the 30-yard line, where Senegal, who recovered that fumble by Gurley, made the stop. Watch the hole by Wilson, 50, Webb, 56, and Fontenot, 67.
And the handoff action is key, too. Here it's a spin handoff. Hagee has to run straight ahead. See, it's a straight ahead play. Has to come to the center. He's overpowered, and they go right up. Now, that's the way they have to attack this defense. If they can defeat Hagee, they can defeat Texas.
Gurley, right side, blocking by Barley and Fontenot.
I keep saying Hagee. I mean Hager. The two of these guys have the same name just about.
All right, we've corrected our machine, and now we'll show you the Texas possessions. Longhorns 3 plays, and they got that field goal to start off the game, then 3 plays and a punt. And the Aggie defense was very dominant. 9 plays, a missed field goal. Good defensive effort, 6 plays and a punt, 3 more and a punt, 7 plays and a punt. But then 4 plays, one of them 50 yards by Eric Metcalf. And the half all knotted up at 10-all. 2nd and 8 from the 32. Stump. And this one's picked off by the Longhorns. Strohmeyer banged at the 20, still on his feet. At the 15, 1st and 10, Texas. Strohmeyer had 3 interceptions now. He was a backup linebacker and played on the special teams last year, but 4.6 speed out of Jefferson High School in Dallas.
Well, he was a running back in high school. Stump telegraphs this thing all the way, and Strohmeyer was in position before he didn't get it. Now, here's you're going to see the 1,250 yards he got as a senior running back in high school. Great balance, and as Jim said, that 4.6 speed, just 166 pounds, he gets it down to about the 20.
Here's a test for the Aggie defense as Metcalf motions. Stafford, quarterback draw, ripped down from behind. Aaron Wallace. Well, we've seen some great ones this year. Zeke Gadsden at Pittsburgh.
This is a lot like what happens with Gadsden. See, they're not doing anything with Wallace. They're just letting him come. If they come back that way, there's going to be a lot of open field. Wallace is flattening out, coming right down the line. A reverse, a quick pitch, something right at him around that end could go.
One of the Aggie long linebackers of the future. 2nd and 9. His future is now. There goes Metcalf. If he gets outside, it's 6. Look at the balance. Just like his dad Terry did with the Cardinals. He dances down to the 12. Turner and Morris contained him there.
All right, it's one play ago. I talked about a quick pitch. Here it is. He comes in flat. Norris has got him. It's a quick pitch. If the defense doesn't cover up. Now watch Wallace 23 come back into your picture here. Trying to get a piece of Metcalf. That's where you got to slow him down. Go at him with that quick pitch. You'll slow him down.
14 carries, 80 yards, and 1 touchdown for number 2, Eric Metcalf. Big third down series defensively here for the Aggies. 7:35 left in the third. Stafford will throw in the end zone. If he gets time, he won't. What pursuit by Wallace again. He just circled the wagons.
Well, it's everybody here, Jim. They slow him down on the front side. This Wallace is going to get him from the backside. He takes a big circle route. You get Stafford slowed down, and then just a great speed. Remember, he came in with 11 sacks, and he was second by 5 to Roper, who has 16.
McManus will put it down. Wayne Clements, a 47-yarder so far on the night. This a 35-yard try. Left footer from the hash mark near side. On its way, it's up, and it is good. 6:46 left to go in the third. Longhorns lead the Aggies again by 3.
Son, I figured when you were old enough, I'd talk to you about drugs. I'd tell you they're nothing but poison. Tell you to stay away from the garbage that pushes that junk. Only I never figured that I ought to be telling that to a 13-year-old.
If you don't teach your kids to say no to drugs, it's as good as saying yes.
Sunday, San Francisco's Joe Montana and the NFC's #1 offense meet the AFC's #1 defense, the Cleveland Browns. Live right after NFL primetime, Sunday on ESPN.
Along with Kevin Kiley, I'm Jim Kelly, and welcome back, where the Longhorns have just taken a 3-point lead against the Aggies with 6:46 left to go in quarter number 3. Hoping that Tex will work. And a busy night for Rod Harris on specialty teams, on the kick return team, on the punt return team, and as a wide receiver. Clement, 2 out of 3 in the field goal department from 35 and 47. This one at the 1 for Harris. Tried to turn the corner, got close to the 20-yard line. Not much of a drive again after the turnover. The interception by Stump, a -3, but Clemens kicked it through from 35. Aggies trail again by 3. They're only 1 play out and 80 yards away from a touchdown. Stump stays in. Are you surprised?
No, I'm not. They just need somebody to hand the ball off here. They're not going to win this game throwing. They need to establish their running game, as I said, on the inside and pound it out on the Texas and get them tired.
Tailback, Woodside. Gurley throws the block. And convergence by Thomas Aldridge, number 97, the senior, excuse me, out of Dallas, Texas. Started every game last year except the Missouri game when he had a shoulder injury. Coaches say he's got great feet. Do you have great feet when you played?
I've still got great feet, actually. You want to see them?
They're the same feet.
Yeah, that's right. The veins are a little bigger, but he does the same.
Those veins keep popping out, don't they? Second and a long 9. Gurley, the fullback, pull over the right side by Fontenot and Bartley. Allen on the stop. Matt Gurley. His dad, Dan, played football for Texas Tech. His mom, Lavenna. Met Kevin and I out in Norman, Oklahoma. We were waiting for a taxi cab to go out to the stadium. They came up and introduced themselves and said, if you need a ride, so in we went.
And we did need a ride.
And we did.
And then we listened while Bill Werndell did Sports Odysseys, oddities with, they were odysseys too, with Dan all the way to the stadium.
They knew everybody that played for Texas Tech in the 50s, didn't they?
Great people, and thank you both if you're out there listening. I'm sure you are.
And their daughter goes to Oklahoma. Look out, Stump has to get rid of it, fires, and this one is almost picked off at the 30-yard line. Senegal back there in the coverage, number 5, he had it in his hands. That would have been his 3rd interception on the season. Watch number 5.
Texas defense all the way. Great pressure. And then you've got the coverage, and Woodside is covered. Stump, a bad decision. Again, that's a nickelback Bierman. Senegal was up front. No chance to get that thing in there. Stump's got to make better decisions.
Stump's got to get a good kick here because if Metcalf gets any kind of a return, he'll let it go, and it gets a good Aggie bounce. Stump knows how to get the ball to turn over. The line of scrimmage, the 37, when we come back after a 40-yard kick, and Texas protecting that 3-point lead.
Temstar, the new name that brought advanced reliability to home heating. High-efficiency gas, electric, and oil furnaces. Versatile heat pumps and gas electric units.
Where do you think they come from?
Look in the yellow pages for Temstar or Whirlpool Heating and Cooling, or phone toll-free.
There is a town where the assembly line mentality does not exist. Where craftsmanship is revered. Where precision is a way of life. A town where the largest occupation is that of car maker. The town is Kalmar, Sweden. The only place in the world where this car could be built. The new Volvo 760.
Former college football player Bob Swayze.
When I was a college football player, I never dreamed that one day I might be a college professor. Yet today I find that many of the values I first learned in football are the same ones that I rely on in my academic career. Loyalty, self-confidence, and discipline are necessary values common to both athletics and academics. And the football field may well be the best classroom for teaching these values.
The preceding brought to you by the College Football Association.
A new single-game attendance record here at Kyle Field and College Station, and there are 966 more folks here tonight than were here 2 years ago in the Texas A&M game. That was the old record. A new one broken tonight, and the Aggies will break the school record for home attendance in a single season. Longhorns have Metcalf, and he has the ball, and the Aggie defense, led by Aaron Wallace, half of the Blitz brothers, has Mr. Metcalf.
And you look at it, it's now 14 tackles for Aaron Wallace. He made the tackle on that play. 4 lost. He and Roper have 3. They're all over the place. 1 sack is hard to believe, but he has been all over Brett Stafford tonight. You know he has, because we've shown you number 23 many times.
There's the other half of the Blitz brothers coming from the other side. 2nd and 10. Fullback, Norris, nothing doing on a dive, and O'Brien in the middle of things again. The senior nose guard, 6'3", 260.
You wonder about play selection. I think we're at the point in the game with 4:10 left in the 3rd period. David McWilliams, is going to make sure, he's going to make Texas A&M play his defense, against his defense. make them believe that they can move the ball against his defense. He's going to be conservative. He's got a 3-point lead, and he's going to make them prove they can move the ball.
3rd and 8. Let's see if the Aggies come with the blitz. 8-man line. Pitch back to Metcalf. 1 to beat. And he doesn't. Roper.
This is exactly the way you play the option. And for a team that hasn't seen the option much tonight, this is remarkable reaction. Morris comes immediately at Stafford. He makes him pitch it immediately, and that gives Roper a chance to react. The play shows itself right away, and Roper uses, looks like he can match the little guy for flexibility and reaction because he took every fake and dragged him down. Good play by John Roper.
Out of Wiley High School in Abilene, redshirted in '85, Lil Jadal had tendonitis in his throwing arm that ended his quarterback career. Bangs it back to Harris. And Harris running east-west instead of north-south. Upended at the 22-yard line. A 48-yard kick, a 5-yard return. Jerry Seed, number 38, on the special teams stop. 11:30 Eastern Time. Every Saturday, Tim, Bino, and Kerry will have features, previews, interviews, and highlights for you. And 4 o'clock on Saturday, Game 1 of another big CFA doubleheader for you on ESPN. Bob Rathman and Lee Corso from snowy Boulder, Colorado. The Cornhuskers and the Buffaloes. And at 7:30, Kevin and I will be in Atlanta. A great rivalry, Georgia and Georgia Tech. Bucky Richardson checks back in at quarterback, the freshman. Anticipate the option. There it is down the short side of the field. He breaks one tackle, kind of slow and developing, but he breaks it across the 30 for a 9-yard carry. Aldridge on the stop. Out of Broadmoor High School in Baton Rouge, Kevin, here he goes.
Bono and Barley on the end there. And this guy is a speed burner, and if he gets loose, he's down the field. You got to be a short tackler. Again, what the option does, it'll spread your defense out, and he'll make it one-on-one. But Stump now is in the back in the game, and Richardson out. He may be just trying to get Richardson the feel of the game.
I think Bucky lost his shoe.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Gurley gets stepped on with cleats. There goes Gurley over the right side behind Bartley. And Hager, number 60, yet another stop. A magnet for the ball.
Now, he's great. The best I've seen really this year between the tackles. He can really take that 1 or 2 steps and get outside around that tackle and make the tackle at the angle.
Well, I tell you, we've seen so many great linebackers. We talked about Zeke Gadsden from Pitt, Andre Bruce from Auburn. Bucky over there putting on the shoe. Roper here tonight, and Wallace.
But the middle linebacker in the 4-3 is kind of a lost breed. The great ones are really something to watch.
Gurley goes in motion, throws the block for Woodside, and Woodside upended near the 38-yard line by Oscar Giles, the freshman.
A&M felt that they could run at the Duncan brothers. Bobby, number 46, and Dwayne, number 48. They play defensive end as Richardson comes back in on that left side of the Texas defense, and they have pounded that thing all night without much success. So hats off to the Duncan brothers, who've done a pretty good job anchoring the left side of the Texas defense.
And watch Bucky, because he can run 56 carries, 382 yards, an 82-yard touchdown run. Not this time. Hard hitting over the middle, Rocky Allen, 89, the sophomore out of Brownwood, Texas, on the stop of Matt Gurley. 1:16 left to go in the third, an official timeout.
But again, you see that success straight away against the Texas defense. Remember, Llewellyn, with that bad shoulder, is also playing tackle in the middle, along with Hager with the pinched nerve. Here's number 60 once again. Straight away, nowhere to run. He's got to come right up and meet the block. He's sealed off, held a little bit. You can see guys getting pushed all over the place. There's Duncan, 48. Very tough for him. He's only 212 pounds. It's tough to handle his big lineman.
Dave McWilliams stalking the sideline. Asked him what his role was the other day. He said the role of the pace stalks up and down the sideline.
Here comes Gurley.
And a foot.
Gurley right up the middle.
And Larry Horton is in the lineup too. It's Bucky right over the middle behind big Matt Wilson and Hager on the stop. Now we've got personal foul as things getting a little heated up with 67 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Hey, how about of Matt Wilson, the center, number 50. 6'4", 270 pounds, an agronomy major. His dad taught him to play chess when he was 5 years old. Matt likes to think of himself as a student of the game, and when you play on the offensive line, you know, everybody talks about the skill positions, but that offensive line, when you play on the offensive line, you have to know what everybody's assignment is.
Yes, you do, especially at center. The penalty is on Bobby Duncombe, number 46. 48, Dwayne.
Yeah, that's...
He's trying to do some dental work on Richardson there in the middle of the pile, and the official with a late flag, actually. Duncombe, the brothers, their dad was a professional wrestler. Evidently, a little bit of that rubbed off.
Yeah, like your friend Vernon Greg Gagne.
Yeah, they're professional wrestlers.
At the 35-yard line, Richardson, we told you he could run, and Hager on yet another stop. Excellent speed for Bucky.
Bucky Richardson was a wishbone quarterback, one of the most sought-after quarterbacks in the country. Let's see what kind of shoe is that. It looks like a low-top basketball shoe.
Unless Duncombe ate part of it. Stump checks back in at quarterback. Out of Port Arthur, Texas, the senior, the veteran, on 2nd and 6. To the near side, Gary Oliver. Top of your screen, Rod Harris. Pitch back to Woodside. White jerseys all over. Thomas Aldridge, the first to arrive, and Lee Brockman, 63.
There's just nothing there on the outside. There hasn't been anything there all night.
There is Aldridge out of South Oak Cliff High School in Dallas. Coaches tell you he'll give you 100% on every snap. He just doesn't rest. Dave McWilliams, 45 years of age, in his first year at Texas, the 26th head coach of the Longhorns. They lead by 3.
Today, you need an insurance company with a firm financial footing, a company with staying power and intelligence to see you through year after year, a company with experience you can count on. You need the Hartford, the insurance people of ITT. When you need us most, we're at our best. That's the Hartford difference.
Introducing the G-Shock 5200 watch from Casio. The sports watch that's ready for action with a built-in shock absorber. It's tough, so tough, this G-Shock can take a slap in the face. And not even flinch. The G-Shock 5200, just one of Casio's water-resistant sports watches. It's one tough watch to beat.
All right, listen and listen tight, because I aim to do what I came here to do, and that is rent a car without having to throw in my horse and saddle to do it. That's why I came to Thrifty Car Rental. Well, they don't cost as much as them other yahoos.
Now, frequent flyer members on Continental, Eastern, Northwest, Sunworld, and Canadian Airlines receive unlimited mileage when you rent from Thrifty.
You always get the best deal at Thrifty. Right, Pilgrim?
Approaching landing zone. Prepare to land.
Let's move! Got a connection to make.
Give the Army Signal Corps 30 minutes and they can turn a mountaintop into a satellite communication station. Qualify for training like this, and you'll learn to work with some of the most exciting high-tech electronics around.
Roger, Bravo 2-6, loud and clear.
We got him! Right. All that you can
Did well. We're well connected, Sergeant.
Find your future in the Army. Reach out and touch somebody's hand.
Welcome home, Rich.
Make this world a better place.
Oh, yes!
If you can.
Now, every time you use MasterCard, we'll donate money to 6 worthy causes. So use MasterCard and help make a difference.
Ready to go to Grandma? Good.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand.
Choose to make a difference. Choose MasterCard.
Along with Kevin Kiley, I'm Jim Kelly, and welcome back to College Station, Texas. A new single-game attendance record, 78,573. Stump at quarterback on 3rd and 8. Aggies trail by 3. Stump can sprint it out. Will fire, sideline, incomplete at the 27, looking for Rod Harris. Tony Griffith back on the coverage.
The thing to remember here is they don't have a quarterback that has continuity throughout the year with his receivers. They've had 3 different starters. So you got Stump here. He's played for 2.5 games in this particular run, and they're just not hooking up. Accuracy is off. The patterns are off. Timing is off.
They'll go for it, or it'll be a fake punt. Stump, let's see if he can put it out inside the 10. He has 3 inside the 10 this year. Hagee drops back deep. Aggies look like they're about 5 yards offside. This one will hit inside the 5 and be blown dead and finally touched by an Aggie at the 7. Lewis Cheek, the man that downed the ball inside the 10. Storyline, College Station, Kevin. The turnovers, the Aggies with 3, the Longhorns with none. Clemens 2 out of 3 in the field goal department. Third quarter, Aggies with 73 yards. Look at that, Texas with a -8, but they lead by 3. And Woodside 101 yards rushing, but the Aggies trail by 3.
The difference in this game has been the 2 turnovers for field goals and the short kickoff after the A&M touchdown gave Texas field position late in the half. I believe they would have sat on it, but they got the ball about the 35-yard line, and that opened it up for Metcalf to run 50 yards for a touchdown.
That red stripe, that's the end zone. Norris cracks it to the 12. 5 tough yards. Roper on the stop, blocking by McMillan and Thomas.
This is where your defense has to assert itself. The offense obviously not moving. A&M came in, knew they didn't have a great offense. They need a big play out of their defense here.
Play comes in very late from the Texas sideline. Dave McWilliams knows his team is a touchdown underdog. He said, I don't make under or over dogs.
Crowd getting into it, Jim.
Quick hitter. Closed just as quickly by Sammy O'Brien. Metcalf upended. Bring up 3rd and short. Now you try to get Metcalf over to the wide side of the field here on this play?
Well, you would think so. Texas really has no ability to control the ball on the ground. They're not a power running team, and A&M is at least as fast as they are defensively versus their offense. This is a difficult position for them. Their kicking game has been excellent. That's what's kept them in the game.
Quick hitter to the fullback, Norris, banged backwards at the 15-yard line by O'Brien and Batiste. Punting situation for the Longhorns. Another look.
This is predictable. Had I been playing defense, I'd have looked for this. Little fullback up the middle shot. Everybody's there for A&M. Fatigue factor may be taken off. Now remember, Texas had 4 kicks blocked last week against Baylor, and I know A&M knows that. In a critical part of this game, he'll come after it.
One punt was blocked, returned for a touchdown. This one is a low squib kick, hits at the 40 and bounces backwards for Texas A&M. 12:42 left to go. The Aggies with great field position start from the 39 of Texas.
Hi. I'm looking for presents for my husband and son, and I've seen shirts, ties, books, records. But you know, they love sports.
There is a perfect present for guys like that. It's Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated.
America's #1 sports magazine. It gives them 55 weeks of great sports coverage, including special issues and the annual swimsuit issue. This year, they'll also get the 80th Olympic Preview Edition. And you'll get SI at the Christmas sale price. Over 60% off the cover price.
A sale before Christmas?
And no crowded stores.
No crowds?
Just call their toll-free Christmas hotline for 55 issues of Sports Illustrated at the Christmas sale price. 3 monthly payments of $15.99 each. You won't even be billed till next year. You even get a card for under the tree. Just call toll-free 1-800-274-5300.
I'm sold. Where's the phone?
Over there.
What's that number?
1-800 274-5300.
I know what I'm getting my boyfriend.
And my dad.
The Aggies ran a quick dive play at 2nd and 8 as we rejoin live action. Stump hands off to Woodside, who does a little stutter step and dances down to the 35, where number 60, pinched nerve and all, Britt Hager, has Mr. Woodside. How much of a distraction, because you played linebacker, and I play with a pinched nerve. Do you think about it? Is it consciously on your mind?
I had that injury. I didn't play. Yes. Well, you know, these guys, some guys are just different. Hager has to play. There isn't anybody else. You see that thing on the back of his neck there? That's to keep his head from going in a certain direction. It's one direction. When you tilt your head, the thing goes off, and it's like a knife right in the neck, but it will subside. If you don't re-injure it, you can play with it.
Woodside, 8 carries, 103 yards. He's got the ball. Big blocking on that left side. A pickup of 5. Sheik and Webb opened up a good hole. Brockman on the stop.
It's a 4-down territory for Texas A&M. It's the strength of their offense, and they're going to come at Texas now. The game is in the balance, and they're just going to pound on them.
Jackie, I think, wants a timeout. So, 11:02 left to go. Aggies on a drive. They trail by 3. We'll take timeout.
Light up the night. When the sun goes down, gonna light up the night. Silver label, red ribbon, taste that's right. Gonna light up the night. Michelob Light. Gonna light up the night. Gonna light up the night. Gonna light up the night. My Michelob Light.
There are those who fervently believe that true perfection is found in the details. At the Bavarian Motor Works, we gave that belief a name. We call it the BMW 735i. Beautiful, to be sure. Yet perhaps the most beautiful thing about it is its spirit.
Two great coaches, two teams with winning traditions. The defending national champion, the Indiana Hoosiers, shoot it out with Notre Dame. Live Tuesday at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
11:02 left, and ESPN's exclusive presentation of CFA football is being brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. To arrange a thorough test drive, simply phone your nearest BMW dealer. And by Mitsubishi Televisions. This program would look better on a Mitsubishi. A 47-yard field goal try by Scott Slater. Slater already for the Aggies has a 53-yarder. Stump will put it down. Hash mark far side on its way. Plenty of distance. It is good. When the Aggies score, everybody scores. So goes the legend. And as legend has it, if you've got a date, you get to kiss he or she.
Well, important field goal. Now that puts A&M in position to win with a field goal. Had they not kicked that, a tie could have cost them the Cotton Bowl. Now they don't need to get in the end zone. Slater, good concentration. That thing's plenty of distance. He knew it was good right off the bat. Now, Texas seniors have never beaten either Oklahoma or Texas A&M. The only class, if they lose this game, ever not to have beaten both of those teams. Either one of those teams.
Brett Stafford, Gabriel Johnson, Paul Jatan, Thomas Aldridge, John Hagee, Tony Griffin, and Gerard Senegal. Those are the Longhorn seniors.
That's a tough call for Jackie Sherrill. I might have gone for it. 4th and short with a chance to punch it in and keep that defense on the field for Texas. He went for the 3 to tie.
Lane Talbot, one of the 12-man squad, will tee it up from the 35 in the center of the field. Darren Norris and Eric Metcalf are back deep. And obviously, Lane Talbot would like to keep the ball away from Eric Metcalf. Norris at the goal line. Great return up near the 28-yard line. And Ed Silverman, number 19, one of the 12 men, stopped that 28-yard return. There's the man that originated the 12-man kickoff unit, Jackie Sherrill, back in '83. And there's what the Aggies and that man have done in the second half.
And that's with an offense that really hasn't been all that productive.
First and 10 for the Longhorns. We're knotted up 13-all. Stafford, quick out. At the 32 goes Gabriel Johnson.
Well, that's controlled passing game, trying to get their controlled passing receiver there, the ball. Here's Wallace. He's not blitzing because he's on the double receiver side, and he's able to get out and make the play. Put on quite a show tonight. The reason he's getting the pressures and Roper isn't is because Roper most of the night has been lined up with the trip receivers and double receivers. He's the strong side backer. Wallace has the automatic go on the weak side.
Wide open, the tight end, Stephen Clark, the sophomore out of New Orleans. And Lafayette Turner, the sophomore from Dallas, number 5, came up to make the hit.
Now, this thing's been wide open all night. I talked about the flex end battle earlier. They're playing way off him, and he just breaks it out. Stafford's able to get him the ball. Again, controlled passing game, short, not going down the field. A&M has given them that.
We're tied at 13, the last tie between the Aggies and the Longhorns. Back in 1948, it was a 14-14 standoff. A tie sends Texas to the Cotton Bowl and the Aggies to the Bluebonnets. There goes Metcalf. Tripped up at the 45 by John Roper.
See Texas giving away some plays by alignment when they go to that split back set and they move their 2 setbacks out over the tackles, a little outside the tackles. It's a passing formation. When they set them inside like they did there, it's going to be a draw or some kind of inside handoff. I wonder if A&M's picking that up. Hey, they're inside here.
They back off the blitz. Stafford unloads to Metcalf, who dives to midfield. Shy of first down yardage by about 1.5 yards. Dana Batiste, number 48, on the stop. Third and 2. You would expect that Metcalf would be involved in the play selection here, wouldn't you?
Well, they don't have a power. Their power back is actually the fullback, and that's Norris. And what they have attempted to do is either the fullback draw when they need short yardage or a quick handoff to Norris.
Stafford, 7 out of 8.
Quarterback draw,
7 out of 18 for 76 yards. Stafford on the fly puts up a wobbly duck out of bounds. In the face of Wallace and Roper blitzing, Stafford unloaded, and that was not a good throw.
No, it certainly wasn't, and the defender fell down. I mean, there was nobody there. He's got lots of pressure. People, Roper leaving his feet there, number 83. See the defender's down. Had this ball been on the mark, as you can see, it wasn't. Would have been a big, big first down. He realizes that he knows he was wide open.
Looked like a bowler trying to get the 10 pin there. Come on back in. 4th and 2, they'll punt it away. Harris is back deep. Lilsdedal hangs it high. Fair catch at the 21. 9:15 left to go. We're tied 13-all. Dave McWilliams, the head coach, 7-4 at Texas Tech. He coached here as an assistant. He played here. He goes to Texas Tech. Of all things, he beat Texas when he was at Tech. He said, well, I didn't want to beat them. I wanted to win, but I certainly didn't want to beat them.
He came back here and beat Texas Tech this year. An interesting thing is he recruited the kids at Texas, beat them when he was at Texas Tech, came back and coached them and beat his own team at Texas Tech. He's clearly a winner, a guy who knows how to motivate people.
Craig Stump stays in at quarterback. Harris left, Oliver right. Stump will put it up on first down. got his man at the 28-yard line, a sliding Sylvester Morgan, number 89, the senior out of Houston. Big target. He's 6'3" and 235. And Stump back at the 14-yard line. Richardson, who's lost his shoe a couple of times, already warmed up with the helmet on. And Stump motionless now at the 14-yard line.
Stump number 9 with the ball in the center of the screen. His foot planted on the turf. Maybe a little twist on that left leg. Yeah, he's grabbing the left knee.
I couldn't see what. Here it is.
Pass to Morgan. Whoa, right in there. Best pass he's probably thrown all night. He gets injured on the play.
And a standing ovation from the Aggie fans here at Texas A&M. This is a gritty competitor. Craig, 5 out of 17, 50 yards. Big completion there, second and a short one. Richardson with Gurley at the fullback spot. The bat barrels over the right side. That's a first down for the Aggies at the 33. Llewellyn on the stop, the junior from Fort Worth.
Well, I talk about Stump. Stump was a parade All-American at high school, coming out of high school. And they signed Kevin Murray. After they signed him, Murray was a minor league baseball player, and they signed Stump. And he thought he was going to be the starter. Murray came in and took over, and he's had a rough career at A&M as Stump.
The only player that Jackie Sherrill's ever carried off the field. At the 35-yard line goes Woodside, and Brent Hager has him there.
Okay, now as you look at the clock, 7.5, less than 7.5 minutes to go. A tie, and Texas goes to the Cotton Bowl. They will, however, be co-champions of the Southwest Conference. A&M needs to attempt to win this game to go to the Cotton Bowl. If they tie, they will go to the Bluebonnet Bowl against Pitt, and Texas will have a date with Notre Dame.
2nd and 9. Oliver and Harris slotted out top of your screen. Richardson pulls it back down, and Bucky breaks it big. Down to the 48-yard line. Tex Mercer, the junior out of Springtown, Texas, redshirted last year, a 21-yard pickup, and Mercer on the stop.
Well, the defensive philosophy against Stump was to overplay the pitch, and it's hard to deprogram these guys. Watch them overplay the pitch. Senegal is outside, and they leave Richardson alone up the middle. Richardson is an option quarterback, a lot quicker than Stump, and if they do that, he's going to break one for a TD.
Harris, top of your screen. Oliver to the bottom on 1st and 10. Gurley behind Wilson and Webb. Llewellyn, the first to arrive in the white shirts.
Things happen quicker with Richardson, too. You get into a pattern defensively of watching an offense, and it moves at a certain speed. You put in a guy like Richardson, he's very quick. He knows the option a lot better than Stump. He ran it in high school. He's adept at it. It makes it tough on the defense.
Second and 7. Almost a missed handoff. Bucky had trouble with the ball. Woodside still on his feet. Woodside to the 20. Stromile saved the touchdown.
Any kind of sustained drive now against this defense. There hasn't been any substitution. Hager played a great game, but he's getting a little tired. He's a little tired. He's there. He overruns it. He makes a real weak attempt at it. Now look at these guys trying to get the ball, not tackling the player, finally dragging him down. They've got to make sure. They've got to make sure of these guys. They're big, strong backs.
Woodside, 11 carries, 132 yards, may have just carried the Aggies to Dallas. Gurley, 1st and goal at the 8.
Here it is again, straight ahead. The weakness of the defense, the strength of the running game of A&M. Hager. pushed aside by Wilson and pushed over by Wilson. Gurley right up the middle. This is time for a defensive timeout. If I was playing defense and I was a middle linebacker, I'd call a timeout. These guys are tired. The game is in the balance.
To the right side, Harris, top of the screen. Gary Oliver. Richardson gives to the big fullback, and Gurley goes down at the 6. Rocky Allen has him there. Dave McWilliams in his first game as head coach against the Aggies, that big rivalry. Of course, he's a disciple of Darrell Royal, who taught Dave you go with what you know and what you can teach your players. And then you adjust as your players change.
Texas has got to come on defense with everything they've got here. Everything.
Already, though, in Scott Slater field goal range. This is a chip shot. Motion by Oliver. Bucky will go the other way on the option. Pulls it down. Touchdown, Aggies. The third rushing touchdown for Bucky Richardson. Stump puts it down. Slater is perfect. And the Aggies of Texas A&M lead by a touchdown and an extra point. So for Jackie Sherrill, football coach and athletic director, a birthday on Saturday, a 7-point lead.
No one would deny that the Japanese are aficionados of fine machinery. So when they reach that station in life when they can afford really fine machinery, guess what they buy? A car from Germany called the BMW 325i, making BMW last year's #1 selling luxury import in Japan.
This is a 19-inch television with a picture as crisp and clear as any you'll find. Now imagine a picture just as crisp, just as clear, but larger. In fact, it's 86% larger than even a 26-inch screen. It's the world's first 35-inch direct view television, the television that only one manufacturer could put together. Mitsubishi.
The University of Texas at Austin.
Are craving cotton and a shot at Notre Dame. The Aggies have gone to the last 2 Cotton Bowls. They won the Southwest Conference Championship in '85 and in '86. And they are 4 minutes and 33 seconds away from the trip to the Big D. Lane Talbot, one of the 12 men, kips it deep, and Metcalf fields it 3 yards deep. Let's watch that run again by Bucky Richardson from 7 yards out.
A valiant but tired Texas defense. The first thing that goes is your lateral pursuit, ability to stop and come back. They all are playing a pitch. They're playing against Craig Stump is what they're doing. And Richardson is the freshest guy on the field. From the other angle, you're going to see Duncombe, number 46, doing a good job, but the rest of his defense is with him. They overrun the thing, and Richardson, with the freshest legs on the field, is able to cut back in against a tired defense and go into the end zone. That's the first sustained drive they've had in the second half, and it really hurt the Texas defense. They couldn't stay with him.
Bucky out of Broadmoor High School in Baton Rouge. Penalty was declined. It is 1st and 10. 4:33 left to go. Texas, if they can drive, to do is tie it up, because a tie and the Longhorns go to the Cotton Bowl.
They got to go to Tony Jones or Metcalf in the open field. It's their only chance to score from this far out.
78,000 on their feet at Kyle Field. Stafford looks for Metcalf, finds him at the 23, and he drops the ball after a hard hit by Dana Batiste.
Well, the question that's facing Texas now is the A&M defense going to blitz? If they do, they have to throw short patterns. If they can guess and get them in some kind of coverage or zone, they could maybe get Metcalf and Jones down into a deep hook area and get a 20 or 25-yard completion. But if they're coming, they're going to have to throw it quick.
The native son, Dave McWilliams. Motion by the tight end, Clark. Stafford. They look to spring Metcalf, and his knee went down at the 18-yard line. That's Tony Jones.
Now this is predictable. Metcalf on the first play. He had to hesitate before he threw it to Jones, and then it was just a bad pass. Jones having to go down on one knee. Of course, the play is dead as soon as he does. And there's your pressure.